and a half reception.
All right, going to have a Sports Minute now and send it over to BT and Sal right after this.
Odyssey Sports Minute brought to you by my buddies over at Elevate. Hydrogen-infused water available now at Walgreens and Duane Reade. This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series Championship at Phoenix Raceway features Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe from Joe Gibbs Racing, along with William Byron and Kyle Larson from Hendrick Motorsports. Whoever finishes highest will be the 2025 champion. Hamlin, the 44-year-old future Hall of Famer, revealed this is his last chance to win a championship while his dad is still alive. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to See Ya Never AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metrics who score report dated 1H 2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person receiving the deal. Additional terms apply.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
It's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got to do.
It's the morning show with Boomer and Gio.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks, Eddie, Al, Jerry, Tom, Izzo. Talk to you Monday morning with the warm-up show at 5. Then we're all back together at 6. Have a great weekend. Have a happy, fun, safe Halloween. And we will see you on Monday.
All righty, have a great weekend, everybody. See you Monday morning, as always. New York.
I have candy, and I would love to see some trick-or-treaters.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Morning 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. WFAN Sports Flash.
And this Rutgers Report is brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official health care provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together. The Rutgers football team grabbed their first conference win of the season last week, beating Purdue on the road on a last-second field goal. Tomorrow, they're on the road again, this time at Illinois, and Greg Schiano's team will be prepared.
I think they know exactly what we're walking into, a very, very good Illinois team. So they announced the sellout, so it'll be a great environment. Great challenge.
Schiano scouts the Illini quarterback Luke Altmaier, who, through 8 games, has 15 touchdown passes to just 3 interceptions.
Their quarterback is a special player, right? I mean, we saw him last year. He can make every throw. His arm, he can do it from every arm angle. He's athletic. He extends plays. He creates plays.
Rutgers in Illinois, 12 p.m. tomorrow right here on The Fan with Chris Carlin and Mike Teal. Tonight in New Brunswick, the men's soccer team plays Michigan State at 7 p.m. And the men's basketball team opens up their 2025-26 season Wednesday night at home against Rider. It's 54 degrees in Central Park. That's the Rutgers Report. I'm Jerry Recco on Sports Radio 101.9 FM, The Fan.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Well, it is a football Friday, and while the record isn't great for the Giants, I do think we have to get to a point where we start raising the expectations. Forget about the postseason or all those different things. Forget about the tough schedule. That's been the narrative that I'm sick and tired of hearing about all year long. The Giants have the quarterback. He is in play here. We're watching him. Of course, we're going to learn more about Jackson Dart each and every week. But the expectations going up against a 49ers team that has been banged up all season long, and they've been okay, whatever, 5-3 on the year. Okay, they're fine. But they're not unbeatable. And when you're talking about a home game, when you're talking about a team that has now the offense in place, remember, that was always the biggest question with Brian Dable, whether it was Daniel Jones, whether it was Russell Wilson, and now, of course, Jackson Dart. Well, he's an offensive guy. How's the offense going to look for this Giants team? And that part has looked very good, even without Malik Neighbors. And now it's going to be without Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterbo. But I still have confidence that the Giants offense is going to be able to score points, is going to be able to move the football. Even in a game where they lost in New Orleans, moved the football, just turned it over way too many times. So the offense for the Giants has gotten to the level where you expect them to compete week in, week out. Now, to me, is where we need to watch the defense. And that's not obviously about the Jackson Dart development. It's not exciting. It's not sexy. It's not seeing if Jackson Dart can play, protect himself and play less reckless football, meaning protect the football, protect his body, all those different things. You're going to have issues with a kid as competitive as he is and plays the game as hard as he does and runs the football the way that he does. We'll evaluate that, sure. But Brian Dable is going to be judged in the final 9 games on his win-loss record. And the way that win-loss record improves is if the defense, with a bunch of big-name players, actually does its job. I don't care what Dexter Lawrence says, what Carl Banks says, what BT or me have to say. They need to go out there and do it. Whether it's Dexter himself, whether it's Kayvon Thibodeau, whether it's Burns, whether it's Carter, whether it's the guys in the secondary. I don't want to hear injuries excuses. I don't want to hear the linebacking excuses. I don't want to hear, the pressures almost getting to the quarterback. I don't want to hear this almost defense. I don't want to hear about high altitude, blowing games that you never should blow. I don't want to hear about the prevent defense and the coordinator Bowen. I want to see wins. This team, certainly defensively, preseason, pre-Jackson Dart, defense was supposed to be the identity of this Giants team. That's how many people, I wasn't one of them, but many people believed in this Giants team. Before Jackson Dart ever set foot on the field, it was going to be about the defense leading the way to a competitive season. And then eventually transitioning to Jackson Dart and seeing how he would develop in his rookie season, whenever that may be. So why now, just because Jackson Dart comes into play and the offense has been moving the ball and exciting everybody with the way that they've been scoring points, getting touchdowns? Remember just a few weeks ago how hard that was? Well, now they do it with regularity, scoring a bunch of points. That's not why they lose. They lose because of the defense. That was supposed to be their identity. And if Brian Dable can't figure out how to get this defense to play better, whether it's people in the organization criticizing one of the best players, maybe trying to motivate him, whatever it may be, I don't care. But I need to see different results. Otherwise, everybody should go. The guy who brought in the players on that defense, Joe Shane. The guy who's coaching those players on the defense, Brian Dable. And then, of course, some of the players themselves. I don't want to hear about the extension from Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't want to hear about the trade rumors with Kayvon Thibodeau. I want to see them go out there and play. Play New York Giants football. Play New York Giants defense. And go beat the 49ers at home. A beatable team. You're going to likely have Mac Jones. He's a sitting duck back there. Go get him. All right, yeah, McCaffrey's tough. What, you can't stop the run? All those guys you have. You can't stop Christian McCaffrey? Figure it out. Figure out a way. Because regardless of how good Jackson Dart is, that's the future. Obviously, it's a part of now, too, but you're excited about the future with Jackson Dart. That's not going to change. So what are we waiting for here to start actually winning some football games, to judge this team based on wins and losses? It's the defense that cost them against Dallas, even with Russell Wilson, who had a historic day. Wasn't his fault. Wasn't the offense's fault. You could blame the offense in Washington. Can't blame them week 2 against the Cowboys. That's on the defense. Offense gives you repeated leads, especially one with under a minute to go. Figure out a way to close it out. They didn't. Okay, learn from that. Denver game. Figure out a way to close it out. You had a big lead. Defense was playing great through 3 quarters. No excuse to allow 30-plus points in the 4th quarter. No excuse. It just doesn't happen. Even for a rough defense, that's hard to do. And this was not supposed to be a rough defense. This was supposed to be their identity. It's getting overlooked because of the emergence of Jackson Dart and Scatterbo. Think about how exciting both Dart and Scatterbo have been to the level that we overlook, certainly early on, the season-ending injury to Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors became an afterthought. He was an afterthought because everybody was excited about Dart and Scatterbo. Of course, you missed him, but it wasn't, how are we ever going to score any points without Malik Neighbors? It was, oh, my God, we got Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo. And they were winning. Even just a couple of games is a lot more than we've seen in the last several years. But it's about the defense. That's where the primary focus should be. Not about the beef between Carl Banks and Dexter Lawrence. Not about Kayvon Thibodeau maybe being traded, maybe being, keeping him here another year and potentially extending him. Not about Abdul Carter almost getting to the quarterback. Get to him. Get to him. That's what we need to see. And I expect it to happen. I believe it's in there. At the very least, to another level. If you're not going to say to a great level. Remember, we were talking to whoever it may be. Baldy, we had Kevin Burkhardt on before week one. And we're asking him about, hey, is this going to be a potentially top 5 defense? All right, maybe not top 5 defense, but certainly should be a very good defense in the NFL. Look at the players that they have. And maybe the one thought was, well, if the defense isn't going to be good, it's going to be because the offense can't move the football and they'll be on the field way too long, way too often. That's not the case. So while standings-wise, this game on Sunday with the Giants and 49ers doesn't mean a ton, when you're 2-6 and you're in last place yet again, and you feel like season is lost because you lost Scatterbo, no neighbors, I get it. They didn't make a trade acquisition, at least not yet. It feels like all hope is lost, and it's not about the record. But make no mistake, this is not just about evaluating, and it certainly shouldn't be. It's not just about evaluating a rookie quarterback and his new head coach. This guy has been here for 4 years. And even myself, I've said it, well, it's kind of like year one here with Shane and Dable and drafting their rookie quarterback. Yeah, it is in that regard. And those guys have already passed that test. Dart appears to be the guy. Dable has coached Dart and that offense well enough that even without Neighbors, they've scored a bunch of points and have won some games. Obviously, like we said, a new challenge now without Scatterbo. No excuse. Go out there and do it. And I believe that the offense will continue to produce and look the way that it has, for the most part, under Jackson Dart, which is significantly better than anything that we've seen before with Brian Dable. So, check. Dart seems to be the guy. Check. Dable seems to be the guy to maximize what Dart can do. Check. Obviously, you want to see how that plays out the rest of the 9 games as well. But what we don't know is if Brian Dable knows how to win football games yet. We saw it at a mild level in year one, but that gets erased when you have the significant regression that we've seen in the 3 years since. It also gets erased when you see the way that they've continued to lose games. The kicker situation dating back to a year ago, the blown leads, the last second losses, whatever it may be. That continues to happen. That has to stop. If you are a backer in Brian Dable or want to believe in Dable and want to see more of him, that's where you should be looking. Not about just Jackson Dart and his development or his emergence. You should be looking to see what that defense can do. And it's an easy out to just blame Bowen. Oh, defensive coordinator. Come on, you got to remember. Wink Martindale was here. Him and Dable had issues. Wink Martindale no longer here. It can't just be, well, fire Bowen and everything's going to get fixed. Or, get healthy in the secondary and everything's going to be better. I'm not so sure. Are the players actually good enough that they brought in to have success defensively? And are the coaches good enough to maximize whatever players they have there to close out games, to get wins, to make plays? Right now, the evidence tells me no. Whether it's playing Abdul Carter out of position, whether it's playing a prevent defense late in games, whether it's not maximizing what Dexter Lawrence can do, it may not be a scheme thing, but you better believe that a motivation thing should be coming from a coach. The great ones, the great coaches, they don't even really have to motivate their great players. So why is Dexter Lawrence needing to be motivated by Carl Banks? Why can't the Giants themselves do that? Those are things that I'm looking for on Sunday in what I believe to be a very winnable game against a good 49ers team. Good 49ers team. Last week's loss to the Eagles, I'm kind of throwing that out. It's nearly impossible to sweep, especially for the Giants from their perspective. Eagles Super Bowl champs, good enough to beat them once in your house. Haven't swept them since 2007. Haven't won there since 2013. I'm going to throw, plus they got screwed over every which way by the officials. I'm going to throw that out. The week before, they should have beaten Denver, who I think is the best team in the NFL. And at the very least, if you want to say the Chiefs, so be it. You can't make, I can make as good an argument as you can for anybody else outside of the Chiefs. And I can still make an argument that I think they're better than the Chiefs. They have a better record. Start there. For now. Point is, Giants had them beat. They had Denver beat in their building and beat them good. So I'm going to look at that being more the norm. Even with the injuries, this is a very, very winnable game. Go win it. Because if 2-7, or if 2-6 turns to 2-7, and 2-7 somehow turns to 2-8, or you're looking at 3-11, then there is no more argument to be made. I get the appeal of pairing Dable and Dart. I get it. I also understand winning games is important. And I'm not so sure this head coach knows how to do it. And based on evidence so far, the evidence is against him. BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Brian is calling from Northport. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Sal. How you doing? Thanks for taking the call.
How are you, Brian?
Listen, I'm doing good, except for this season. I'm a huge Giants fan. I want to know, if you had the pro and con box, what are the reasons to keep Dable? I used to be a huge supporter. To me now, the only pro I have in him is his passion on the sideline. That's it. That's what was missing with Robert Saleh. I don't get what the reason for keeping him is, because I feel like in that Denver game, I was in the third quarter. We were shutting them out, and I still was just looking at the clock. My wife's like, "Oh, we're going to win." I'm like, "Would you please stop?" And then it just crumbles. And I feel like he finds ways to lose, not to win.
Look, his passion is certainly an asset. I love that about Brian Dable. The other thing would be the obvious one. They selected, and mainly Dable selected, Jackson Dart as his guy. He's the guy. That's a huge, huge positive. However, However, Brian, where I'm with you is that it's got to start resulting in wins. 2-6 is 2-6. And the way that they're losing these games, there is a difference in just losing a game and say, well, you know what? They gave it everything they had. They just got beat by the better team. That would have been okay if that happened in Denver to me. It was okay that it happened in Philly. I'm okay with that. The losses that they had in Dallas, the losses that they had a year ago in Washington without the kicker, the loss that they had in Denver, that can't happen, especially in year 4 when there's no more excuse, when you have players on defense and you have your quarterback.
And it doesn't look good with you. Obviously, we all talk about Daniel Jones, who I'm happy for. I'm thrilled with his success. Good for him. But we can't keep hanging our head on the one win 3 years ago or 4 years ago in Minnesota. That's it. That's all we got.
Correct. And he is, and thank you for the call, Brian. Good stuff. He has regressed. Dable has regressed significantly. Not to mention, as we had, BT and I talked about that earlier in the week. To me, the biggest indictment of Brian Dable might, in fact, be the success that, and it's not just Dable, it's Shane as well, the success that Daniel Jones has had in Indianapolis. Because why is Jones able to have that success immediately, but he couldn't do that here, period? It's either A, because he wasn't coached the right way, the way he's being coached in Indianapolis, or B, the structure around him, the organizational structure and the pieces around him are better, which is an indictment of Joe Shane. And it's probably a little bit of A and B. And it's year 4, which is why when you say, okay, well, it's great that they got the quarterback. Well, I want to see them win. So if they have the quarterback and the offense is fixed, which it is, why then aren't they winning games? And the easy out would be, wow, it's Denver. They're very tough, Sal. You didn't think they'd win. Correct. I know. But I also didn't think they'd be up 19-0. I also didn't think they'd have a lead late, scoring another dagger touchdown the same way they did against Dallas and blow that. So the way the game played out to me is a big difference. Too many times we're sitting there watching a frustrated Brian Dable fall just short of winning a game for a variety of reasons. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. Paul is calling from Buffalo. What's up, Paul?
Sal, how you been, man?
Good, Paul. How are you, my friend?
I am good, man. Details in life are everything, and your costume today is detail-rich and just funny as heck fire, man.
Are you watching on YouTube?
Glasses.
You're watching?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you checking in on YouTube. Yes, I am dressed up. We could get into that in a little bit, but thank you very much, Paul. Appreciate you watching.
And as a Yankees analytics nerd, I have to ask you, should we trade Carlos Rodon this offseason while his value is high? Because as I've told you for years in the overnight, starting pitchers just aren't worth paying. Rookies are dominating this postseason, with the exception of Yamamoto, who is earning his money for the Dodgers. Boy, I hope he has one tonight, too.
You know,
I'd like to see a Game 7.
Well, I don't know. Thank you for the call, Paul. I don't know if I'd like to see a Game 7. I'd probably like to see the Dodgers go home, although I could see the drama. When would Game 7 be? Tomorrow night? I got something to do tomorrow night. I hope it ends tonight. Tonight I'll be home after the trick-or-treating a little bit with my daughter and my wife and watch the game, maybe see it end, hope for the Blue Jays. Tomorrow night's going to be a pain in the neck because I'm going out. I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, trade Carlos Rodon for who? For what? You're not trading Carlos Rodon. And just to be clear, I am not a Yankees analytics department member. If you're checking out on YouTube, and it'll probably be posted on social at some point here soon. I am a member of the Yankees DON, Department of Nerds. As you see here on my pocket, DON, Department of Nerds. I mean, that's what the Yankees have. Why not come up with the Department of Nerds costume today? So glad you enjoyed that. Patrick is in Melville. What's up, Patrick? As I'm sure Aaron Boone will when he gets word. Hey, we got to get that picture. Can somebody send me the picture that we took? I want to text that to Booty just to make sure he doesn't miss that. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, so, I think the big thing about the Giants is the owner is just loyal to a fault. I mean, he keeps, putting his, it's kind of like the definition of insanity, doing the thing over and over again, expect a different result. I mean, Dable's had 4 years. I mean, I'm glad for Jones' success. He wouldn't have had it here. But I just think that you don't really have to tie your head that Dart needs Dable to be a coach, because you can just tell that if you have the right coach. I mean, look at what the guy's doing in New England. I mean, Drake May looked like a mess last year because he had a horrible coach, and now New England looks like a totally different team, and they're basically a playoff team. So I think we need to stop, and sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid off. I mean, and it goes over and over again. Like the Eagles had Carson Wentz, who was basically almost took them to the Super Bowl. They got him out, and they got a new quarterback. It's just time. Sometimes you just got to move on and try to find a better thing, and just keep thinking that the same old thing is actually going to do better.
Let's not make it, and thank you for the call, Patrick. Let's not make it like Brian Dable is the only coach who could have success with Jackson Dart. Now, while I say that, I am also somebody who has said, I want to give them a chance. This is weeks ago, before they even started winning. For me, it was less about what Dable's done in the past and more about, okay, well, now I really want to evaluate him with the guy that he picked. But once you pass that test, now it's okay. Well, now it's on to the next test, which is why I'm saying I don't necessarily want to break them up. I'd like to keep it here and see them have success. What I'm saying is the final 9 games are, for me, an evaluation as the team, an evaluation of the team overall as a whole. I'm looking at the defense. I don't want to hear the excuses anymore. The offense has been fixed, even with the injuries. And there are certain things that you will excuse from a rookie. See, I have excused them, and this is why I'm telling you that I'm consistent. I excuse them from the Saints loss. I picked these Saints to win that game because I understand that things happen in the NFL, especially with rookie quarterbacks. And that's exactly what happened down in New Orleans. Now, you'd still like to see the Giants win that game. It's the only win the Saints have this year is against the Giants. But it shows you their margin for error, the Giants, is not nearly enough. But they did turn the ball over 5 times. But while they turned over 5 times, they moved the football consistently. So I chose to, at that point, which was start 2 for Jackson Dart, say, okay, well, at least they moved the football consistently. The rookie mistakes will get cleaned up, and when they do, they will win games. And they did just that the following week against the Eagles. But then when you blow a game like they did in Denver, that's showing that how can I trust that the coach knows what he's doing when even the pieces that he has played well enough to have a big lead in the fourth quarter and they still found a way to lose that game? And that's happened often, multiple times over multiple years. I need to see that get cleaned up before I just say, well, I need to see more with Dable and Dart. I have to see that get cleaned up first. Otherwise, what he does with Dart to me is irrelevant. BT and Sal on the Fan. More of your calls when we come back. I came dressed today as Yankees Department of Nerds. BT came dressed as the Mets in the postseason. He's not here. He's out sick, so he couldn't make it in today. Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical, but did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I think what's happening in New England is legit. I think now they can win the AFC East.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So if you've missed the start of your game and you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you could even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet does win. So just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to sign up today. We all love the app around here. It is safe, secure, and when you get paid instantly. So play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official sportsbook of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Visit your local Kia dealers to discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. It's the perfect balance of quality, dependability, power, and style. Learn more at kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals at a fishing pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah. And they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay. In St. Pete, Clearwater, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Your Florida escape begins at visitspc.com.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT and Tal back on the Fan. BT out sick today. We'll continue with your calls here. 888-808-109 on this Football Friday. We'll have Nick Costos later on. Get you set for Week 9 in the NFL. We'll have the Perfect Parlay Picks segment later on as well. With Costos, we get the game last night to react to as well. Nothing really there, although Lamar Jackson. We talk about Shohei Ohtani, and everybody says he's the greatest player ever. For me, I look at Lamar Jackson as the greatest football player, at least that I've ever seen. I'm not going to go back into the history and the annals of, all these great players and quarterbacks and running backs and defensive studs. I know a lot of the names. I'm just saying from my personal viewpoint, from my eyes, watching Lamar Jackson play football and do what he does both as a runner and a thrower, it's as impressive as I've ever seen. And I've seen great quarterbacks, obviously, that could throw the football. I've seen great quarterbacks and running backs that could run the football. Lamar, to me, is the best combination of both. Good to see him back on the football field. They win last night. Take care of the loser Dolphins that got Week 9 started. But some big matchups this weekend, including the Bills and Chiefs. That'll be a huge game, 4 o'clock. I'm very curious to see where the Bills are at now. Bouncing back nice last week against the Panthers. Chiefs, everybody's believing they're the best team in the league again. So we get a big matchup with that one. Colts and Steelers, another huge matchup. Are the Colts for real? Okay, even if you say that they are, they still could lose this game to the Steelers coming off a loss to the Packers on Sunday Night Football. On the road for the Colts, outside of the confines of that dome, on the road against Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh's defense has not been very good. So that's a big game as well. I mean, look, in Week 9 here, starting to separate, the big boys starting to separate themselves, from the pack here. So those are the two biggest games that I'm looking for. Packers and Panthers, Lions and Vikings, Bears, Bengals, not really. Yeah, the other games actually stink. Falcons, Pats, no. Giants, Niners, to me, and again, I know it's 2-6, and I know we're in New York here, but that's an intriguing game because the Niners still a top team and battling for a playoff spot or battling for the division in the West. And what are the Giants? What are the Giants? Are they the loser team that we thought they've been for the last 3+ years and the only difference now is they found a quarterback? Or are they a team that is back in play to win some games here down the stretch, regardless of how difficult their schedule is? A team that beat the Chargers at home, a team that beat the Eagles at home, a team that I still believe can beat the Niners at home, especially a banged-up Niners team. Still 2-6. All right, record-wise, standings-wise, season over. Still a lot to be determined of what this Giants team is here in year 4 with Brian Daboll. That has nothing to do with the star rookie quarterback. Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Alex is calling from Southampton, New Jersey. What's up, Alex?
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for taking my call. And I love, you got me cracking up. Yeah, I love BT's costume. That was really funny.
Yeah.
You got me there. But listen, I am on with you, man. I'm sick and tired already. They want to anoint this coach, Giants coach, like he's a quarterback guru. I used to love Daniel Jones. I know it wasn't his fault, but you had him, and look what he's doing now with another team. So don't tell me you're a quarterback guru. Fix the team. Fix the defense. Learn how to run. Learn how to run your team. We lost that team. We lost that game because he didn't take control. He let the defensive coordinator run wild. If you don't improve the team this year, I want him gone. I don't need to see any more. I don't want to hear about quarterback guru. Any coach, any good coach can coach a good quarterback. Players make coaches. Coaches don't make players. And I'm sick and tired of people thinking that this guy is the best in the world.
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex, for the call. I appreciate it. I agree with a lot of what you said, although I do think that there are times where coaches definitely make players, or at least make the most out of players. But the question was always, and it has been for years with Daboll, can they find the quarterback? Get the quarterback. Where's the quarterback? I wanted them to take one, not last year. The year that they took Neighbors, I wanted to find the quarterback. They didn't. They went with Daniel Jones again. It failed. And then they finally got their quarterback this year. And then, obviously, to your point, you see what Daniel Jones is doing elsewhere. But to me, it's no longer about the quarterback. They checked that box. It might be the biggest, most important box to check. They checked it. Jackson Dart has all the tools, has all the characteristics, traits, anything you want in a franchise quarterback. Now, obviously, he's got to have some sustained success. Player of the month is not going to do it. You got to have sustained success. But there's real reason to believe, as opposed to, he might, I'm not so sure. There are many reasons to believe that that box has already been checked by the Giants. So now what about the other boxes? That's what I'm looking to see checked. I mean, if not, what are we doing here? And you're right. Dable couldn't do it with Daniel Jones. They got Jackson Dart. Okay, great. But now you got to start winning games. We've seen other coaches have good quarterbacks that continue to lose and they get fired. Now, if you believe in Dable, even with his record being as bad as it is, you need to evaluate these final 9 games to see that the results are going to follow. Like, I could believe in him, and I do believe the Giants have a chance this week to win a game. Next week, same thing in Chicago. Like, I had this argument with BT. I still think the Giants could win 7 games. 5 of the final 9. 5 and 4 shouldn't be asking a lot when you have a quarterback. And you have the players on defense that they have. But we actually need to see it. I don't know how, if the Giants continue to lose and they end up with 5 wins or fewer, that anybody can be like, well, we found the quarterback, at least. Let's bring him back again and go to year 5 with Shane and Dable just because they found the right quarterback. Jimmy is calling from Warren County. What's up, Jimmy?
Dad, what's going on, bro?
How are you, Jimmy?
I'm chilling. Hey, with Jackson Dart, that's a small sample size, but he doesn't strike me as the type of guy that would really suffer from a coaching change. Because Brian Dable, he might not have lost the whole locker room, but since week 2, I've been saying it looks like he's losing Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence looks uninspired, he looks tired and unengaged. And that's how I look at my job, because I don't want to be here anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, what do you do? What do you do for a living, Jimmy?
I'm a truck driver. I like driving the truck, but I don't like the place I work at. And that's how Dexter Lawrence looks in the post game. He looks like that on the field, and he's looked like that since week 2, Sal.
Right. So if you remember, if you're a listener of the show, Jimmy, and we appreciate you taking the time to call, and good luck with your job. I get it, man. I get it. I had plenty of jobs I wanted no part of. And that's why when I was working at Home Depot, and Scazzeri would call and be like, hey, somebody called out sick. We need you to come fill in for Mike in the Med. I goes like, see you later. Shut my lad off. Told the boss, they're like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to the fan. But we got lines. That's not my problem. What are you going to do, fire me? I don't care. And they didn't. You started to learn, at least I did, how little they could do to you. Because I was always afraid to call in sick and this and that. And then I started to do it because, with good reason, I would go to the fan. And I never got in trouble at all. Maybe a little like, oh, you called out sick again? I'm like, yeah, I did. So be it. So I get it. Hang in there, Jimmy. But Brian Baldinger was on with us. He's been on with us every week of the NFL season. I'm pretty sure he said it after, it was either week 1 or week 2, to your point about Dex. And then I was hearing some rumblings he might be hurt. And that was my whole issue with the Carl Banks situation. Like, Carl's entitled to his opinion. He very rarely goes out of his way to criticize a player, certainly to that extent, off the broadcast. Like, during the broadcast, at times he'll be critical of certain plays. And I'm not here to judge Carl as a broadcaster. I really don't care anymore. We had our thing. I don't care. There were reasons for that whole thing, whatever it may be. But my issue was Carl's there. He's around the team. Why is he questioning? He might be hurt. I don't know. Maybe he's hurt. Well, why wouldn't you just go ask him? Is he hurt or not? Like, Carl should know that. And if he isn't hurt, then Carl should say that. Not couching it by saying, well, maybe he's hurt. Makes me think maybe he's hurt. I don't know. I'm not around the team. Team doesn't give me any info. Maybe Dexter Lawrence is hurt. Here's what I know. I love Dexter Lawrence. Love Dexter Lawrence. He's one of the few guys that we had a chance to interview when BT and I were out there 2 years ago, maybe. We haven't, maybe it was 3 years ago, because we didn't go this year to Giants training camp, and we didn't go the year before that. But the year prior, we had Dexter Lawrence on. I love him. Love him. Great kid, great personality, and you all know he is a beast of a player. So what's wrong? Is he hurt, or is he checked out on this coaching staff? And was the message from Carl trying to motivate him? I have no idea. Nobody tells me anything. I'm just trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. But it's on the coaches to make sure every player is motivated, specifically their star player. And that might be an issue as it pertains to Dexter Lawrence. Or maybe he's hurt. I don't know. Maybe somebody around the team should actually ask and then let us all know. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Who's Hot in Football is sponsored by Petro Home Services. Breece Hall is hot. He rushed for 133 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he threw the game-winning touchdown. Want to save on heating costs? Go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil. With reliable delivery in any weather and live 24/7 service, count on your local HVAC pros at Petro to stay warm and save this winter. Go to petro.com now to get $125 heating oil or call 1-888-PETRO02 today. Again, that's 1-888-PETRO02 today. Use propane. Ask about special offers. Propane not available in all areas.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
I wonder if Woody is going to rectify this.
I think he should. I think the easy rectification is, hey, Justin, I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
You played a hell of a game. And how about this part? I'm sorry.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Sunday's early window features 2 marquee matchups. Minnesota at Detroit and Denver at Houston. The Broncos are my first upset special. The second comes later when Vegas, my upset pick, hosts Jacksonville. The Kansas City-Buffalo shootout is the game of the weekend for sure. And the primetime Seattle at Washington tilt also figures to be entertaining, especially if quarterback Jaden Daniels returns for the Commanders as expected. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
You could think you found your dream home online, but here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by the Home Depot. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Calling all hoops fans, get off the bench and onto the court for another exciting basketball season with BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night. Don't miss a single highlight or buzzer-beating shot by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today and make your bets. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ Sense is a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released 3rd-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-455-9311. 800-455-9311. Again, that's 800-455-9311.
At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Get 1.9% financing on a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 or lease for $219 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN 390557. MSRP 32455. Zero security deposit. APR 1748. 1000 finance. 103125.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Let me hear BT it's out back on the Fan BT outfit. Or he came to work today dressed as the postseason version of the 2025 Mets. Didn't show up. All right, 888, and you guys, it's a radio show. We're not on TV, but we are on YouTube, so you can see there. And on social media, of course, we're just people are so kind. The compliments are coming in left and right. I was checking the messages during the break. People love the costume. I am dressed up as a member of the Yankees Department of Nerds, which we know, of course, is running the show here. That department includes Aaron Boone, Cashman, all the guys we don't know about. So I today wanted to be one of them. So I am a Department of Nerd member, and we appreciate all the positivity that is out there on social media. 888-808-1019 is the number to call as we, focus on the Giants here to start the show. We'll have Nick Costos on later on, 1240. We'll do the Perfect Parlay Pick segment later on this Football Friday. We'll get into some baseball as well. We can do that coming up at 11 o'clock. But I really do think, first of all, we get into sports, as sports fans, for the games. The storylines are great, of course, but we love watching the games. And I hate that too many times in the last decade that the games, as it pertains to both the Jets and Giants, are irrelevant. When you have a 2-6 record, obviously the game is going to be, in large part, irrelevant. In this particular case, it's not, because you're still evaluating a head coach that now has a quarterback on to see if he could actually win some games. Not about would the development of Dart be hampered because another head coach. That's nonsense. A good quarterback, to the caller's point before, a good quarterback will be a good quarterback with any head coach. Maybe not any, but a solid head coach. But the team around them, and this pertains, I guess, Joe Shane as well, the general manager, that needs to be better with this Giants group. That's what I'm looking to see. So it went from all these years, Daniel Jones, when are we going to get another quarterback? When are we going to get another quarterback? Now they have the quarterback, and immediately it should shift to, okay, well, now that they have the biggest question answered, how are they going to start winning some football games? And when you have a defense that they have, this is not the Jets at 1-7 in year one of a total rebuild with Muji and with Aaron Glenn, where I said in the beginning of the year, their record to me is irrelevant. It's about how they perform throughout the course of the year. You want to see some growth. You want to see some discipline. You want to see things buttoned up. You want to see a foundation being laid. Well, we're beyond that with the Giants. The foundation should have long been laid. I thought that was being the case in year one, and it was not, because it was not sustained. And it doesn't just get an automatic restart because of a quarterback, especially when we feel like we know the answer on the quarterback. I'm not saying Jackson Dart's going to be a Hall of Famer or is going to be Patrick Mahomes. What I'm saying is there's enough evidence to truly believe that Dart's it. He's answered the question. The quarterback search should be over. He's no longer the problem, or that is no longer the problem. Now you focus on, okay, how do we elevate to the next level with that quarterback? Because there's no reason why you should be losing with a quarterback, especially if it's not in year one. They have pieces on defense. Win some games. And there are no excuses. I don't want to hear, well, Scadaboo's hurt. Oh, look at the 49ers. They don't have the starting quarterback. Not to mention one of their top receivers. They've been banged up all year long. Richie is in Stanford. What's up, Richie?
Hey, Sal, good morning. I totally agree with your assessment so far, but what you just said, the only thing that I think is that you're missing, and by the way, I agree with you, Dable and Dart, it doesn't matter, but in your assessment of how winnable these next 9 games are for the Giants, I mean, you're comparing it to the previous 8 games, and I'm sorry, I disagree with you on the one thing you have not mentioned yet, which is a very, very, very important ingredient, is they don't have Scadaboo. And unless Tracy turns into Saquon Barkley, they don't have a running game.
No.
Scadaboo's the reason why they, but I just my point is that, look, these next 9 games, okay, the Giants' offensive line is not that good. I don't care if Dart's Patrick Mahomes Jr., what do you think every defense is going to do? They're going to stack the box and come after him like it's nuclear war.
The running game.
Apples and oranges.
Richie, first of all, I did mention Scadaboo being hurt. I don't care. I mean, injuries are not that I don't care. I'd love to see Scadaboo back. I'm saying it's not an excuse to me.
I think it hampers their ability to win games.
Oh, well, I mean, you'd rather have your best.
It's a different Giants team now.
Hold on, Richie. You'd rather have your best players, of course. I bet you said the same thing about Malik Neighbors. Has that hampered their ability to win games?
No, exactly. I agree, but they got 2 other guys.
Who's more instrumental to their success as an offense, Neighbors or Scadaboo?
I agree. All I'm saying is that without Scadaboo, Dart better do nothing other than 3-step drops or he's toast. I mean, it's a different Giants team without Scadaboo.
No, obviously it's different. It doesn't mean they can't win games, and thank you for the call. I think you're overrating the importance of Scadaboo, and I love Scadaboo. You can find guys that can run the football. Now, the energy, him and Dart being running mates, those are things that they're going to suffer. The injury to Neighbors far more hurts the Giants' offense than losing Scadaboo. Tracy's done some good things. Again, do I love him as a back? No, he's not Scadaboo, but you can run the football. The Giants' run game improved when Jackson Dart started under center. That's when their run game started to get better because his ability as a dual threat. Now, I'm not knocking Scadaboo or trying to minimize what he brings to the table. But far better players have been hurt and teams have had success. What's more important, Brock Purdy to the Niners or Cam Scadaboo to the Giants? So it sucks. I love watching him play. It's not going to be easier without him, obviously, but it doesn't mean that they can't beat the Niners or the rest of the schedule. The Bears aren't, I don't think the Bears are good. Now, do I expect the Giants to win both? I don't know. Maybe my feeling will change after this Sunday. I expect them to win this game Sunday. Packers, Lions, difficult. All right. At Patriots, difficult. The rest of those, the 4 games after that, come on, it should be equal footing here. You're focused on the one thing in Scadaboo. What about the other parts that they do have? The quarterback. And you're knocking the offensive line. I don't think the offensive line has been bad. If the offensive line has been bad, the Giants wouldn't have had the amount of success they have had offensively. Forget about the win-loss record. Offensively. With Thomas back healthy, the offensive line has been good. What about the defense? I started the show 50 minutes ago talking about the defense. That was supposed to be the strength coming in. It's got to be the strength moving forward. That plus Dart should equal some wins. Nick is in New Jersey. What's up, Nick?
Hey, so I think there's almost no way the Giants end up firing Brian Dable. at the end of the year because they're just way too loyal to him. And the Giants in general as an organization are loyal to a fault to their head coaches and GMs. And also, just like they're going to come up with a bunch of excuses. It's going to be Cam Scatterboo was hurt. Malik Neighbors was hurt. Their schedule was tough. It's all just going to be bad luck, and they're going to do the same thing all over again. And let me just point out, like, you know, with everything that Daniel Jones is doing now in Indianapolis, it would be crazy to me for Dable and Shane to both have a job next season because, you know, at least one of them's got to be the problem. And it's not like the Colts are like this bastion of success for quarterbacks. Like they haven't exactly been the best organization for developing quarterbacks in recent years. And Daniel Jones is flourishing there.
Let me ask you, Nick. I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but I want to ask you a question. And I know my answer, but I want to hear yours. Is there anything they could do, meaning Shane and Dable, the rest of the way, let's say 6-3, 5-4, that could change your mind?
Yes, yes, I think it is. I think it's possible, but I think it's unlikely. And now I wouldn't necessarily say there's like an exact record that they have to pull off. I think a lot of it depends on what goes on. But let me just say, like, the Giants' schedule coming up is very tough. And it is possible, and I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, but it's not totally outside the realm of possibility that the Giants lose the next 6 games in a row. Like, that's not crazy to me, given what their schedule looks like. So, look, I just don't really think it looks good for them this year.
Yeah, but that's fair. At least you're fair about it, Nick. Very good call, and thank you for that call. WFAN NFL Football powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today. I agree that it does matter how they look, but I also think that they need to start winning some games here. And obviously, based on what you've seen, while it's possible, it's unlikely that they would go 6-3, 5-4. Based on everything you've seen in 4 years, it's unlikely they would go 6-3, 5-4. But it is possible. And if they do that, then I think you have to be fair and keep an open mind. That's where I'm at. And I actually believe it's more likely than you do, Nick. Because I don't look at the next 6 games and go, oh, my God, they can't win these. Starting with this Sunday, like, if they lose this Sunday, to me, that's a bad loss. They've got to win this game Sunday to have one of those records that I'm talking about. Because if you can't beat the Niners at home, why would I have confidence you're going to beat the Packers, Lions, Patriots, even Commanders? Or Cowboys, for that matter. I believe this is a winnable game. And I look at those last 4 games, Washington, Minnesota, at the Raiders, Cowboys, as winnable games. I think it's very realistic they could go 5-4. Do I have a lot of confidence that's going to be the case based on what we've seen? No, but I believe it's possible. And this is one of those games that I feel more confident in them winning, as opposed to, say, against the Packers or the Lions. Could they lose 6 in a row? I mean, sure. That's been the norm for the Giants over the last several years. But I do truly believe this is different. Even with the injuries to Neighbors, even with the injury to Scatterboo, I believe it's different. I believe the Giants are back in play to compete each and every Sunday, regardless of the opponent. And I am choosing to believe that the last week's loss to Philadelphia was more about the Eagles and the bad calls and just chalk one of those games up to not your day. And I'm putting more stock even in the loss to Denver than anything else, because that was an impressive performance to me outside of the coaches coughing one up in the fourth quarter. Coaches and the defense, which is why I'm focused on that. We'll see what happens this Sunday. To me, this will be a telling game. I understand arguments on both sides with Dable, but there are 9 more games to go, and maybe he can change the naysayers' minds with some wins. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Scatterboo is down and shaken up.
Adversity has presented itself all season in many forms for Big Blue.
For injury. Oh no, it's bad. I just saw his right foot bent completely to the right.
How that adversity is met reveals what a team is made of.
We got to start figuring out ways to win.
Week 9 brings San Francisco to town with Christian McCaffrey looking to wreak some Halloween havoc on MetLife. Will the Giants rise up and get back in the win column? Find out right here Sunday at 1 on your home for New York Giants football. 101.9 FM WFAN. And always live on the free Odyssey app.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/8/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
We all must do our part to keep our roadways safe. When driving, look out for pedestrians. Slow down and keep a 4-foot distance while passing. Let's look out for each other. Safety is a shared responsibility. Brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety.
Experience the excitement of Iron Maiden live. Don't miss Run for Your Lives World Tour 2026. Iron Maiden. Live in Harrison, Sports Illustrated Stadium, Saturday, September 5th. With very special guests, Megadeth and Anthrax. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, visit IronMaiden.com.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to EdisonHVAC.com.
At Odyssey, we believe in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce. We also value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be notified of all our open positions. That's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for all our listeners, please visit odysseyinc.com/careers for a list of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We love talking about the Knicks and Nets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
We're brought to you by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Week 9 in the NFL opened up with the Ravens beating the Dolphins 28-6. On Sunday, the 2-6 Giants take on the 49ers. Kind of expecting Mac Jones to play for San Francisco. Jackson Dart 2-3 as Giants starter. The Jets are on their bye. Tonight in Toronto, will the Blue Jays be winning the World Series or will be going to a 7th game? It's Game 6 tonight. Toronto up 3-2 after taking the last 2 in Los Angeles. The Dodgers winning the 18-inning game, but did very little offensively after that in Games 4 and 5. This is their manager, Dave Roberts.
They've just got to compete and fight in the batter's box, and it's one-on-one, the hitter versus the pitcher, and that's it. I think that, that sort of mindset is all I'll be looking for.
The pitching matchup tonight, Kevin Gausman and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. NBA tonight, the Knicks are in Chicago to play the Bulls. The Rangers scored a 4-3 overtime win in Edmonton. JT Miller, the game winner in the overtime. The Sharks beat the Devils 5-2, and the Islanders fell to the Hurricanes 6-2. Isles in Washington tonight. This report brought to you by Flushing Bank. Also brought to you by Approved Oil. Visit freezetherate.com. Approved Oil has been the leading heating oil dealer for the lowest rates in New York for over 90 years. Lock in today before the cold weather drives prices up. Act now and don't get left out in the cold. Enjoy a worry-free winter with Approved Oil. Visit them at freezetherate.com. Temperature brought to you by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. 54 degrees in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Jerry Recco on WFAN. Now streaming our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn app.
State Cadillac dealers, Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. We'll get back to your Giants calls here. Obviously, World Series Game 6 tonight. I was just talking with Jerry about this, and I heard them mentioning it during the morning show. The intrigue for me would be if the big, bad, greatest player that's ever set foot on the face of this earth, Shohei Ohtani, was able to... Now, get this, because I know it's asking a lot. I know you wouldn't want to ask this of, the guy that's better than Babe Ruth. If he were able to maybe come out of the pen in an elimination game for his team, give them some quality innings, and then to keep his bat in the lineup, go back in the outfield. But I'm not so sure we're going to see that. And Boomer was saying that he thought maybe it's a possibility. I would bet, look, I've been wrong before. I would bet anything that there's no chance that we see Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher in this game tonight. No chance. And if you did, I don't think he's playing the outfield. I'm not so sure he could. I mean, physically he could, right? Anybody could. But would they be willing to do that when was the last time that happened? Rami, has he ever played the outfield in the big leagues, Ohtani?
I'll have to check that. I think he has.
Yeah, when he first came up with the Angels? I thought so too. Then when did that stop? I mean, why not? Then why can't he do that more often? And then maybe we wouldn't have to question he's just a DH. I mean, why not be an outfielder on occasion? Anyway, you would think that that's of importance for the Dodgers. Their bullpen stinks. If Ohtani could go here, I mean, this is it. Come on, big boy, get those IVs that you like. You need the IV after the 18 innings of DHing. Not playing, DHing. This is it. It's got to be all hands on deck, no? So if because of the Ohtani rule, he could start a game and come out of the game as a pitcher, start a game as a starting pitcher, come out and still have the DH preserved, but you can't come in as a reliever. I mean, those are, okay, well, it's big boy rules. What are we going to change? Should there be another rule change to accommodate the great Shohei Ohtani? But I'd like to see him suck it up, get in there tonight, and we'll see what kind of performance he's had. Because so far through the postseason, he's had 3 all-world terrific games. The rest have been garbage. Garbage.
He played 7 games in the outfield in 2021.
Okay, and that's it? In his entire career? That was the last time he's done it. 2021 with the Angels.
Right.
He played 7 in the outfield.
That's all I see.
Okay. I mean, that's not nearly enough. So why would I have confidence that he would do it now in the World Series, no less? Anyway, there's a lot of intrigue there with the, Game 6 tonight, returning home. The Blue Jays are with that venue. That's been the best venue in the postseason. See if they could go out there and be world champs. And then maybe the Yankees and the Department of Nerds, which I am dressed as today for Halloween, of course, maybe they can give us we won 94 games just like the Blue Jays did, and we lost in a tight series in the crapshoot in the postseason. Even more so if the Blue Jays win the World Series. I think you're going to probably hear that for the Yankees. And actually, a part of me does agree, not with all of that exactly, but a part of me does think the Yankees do come across looking stronger if the Blue Jays are able to beat the Dodgers here. Even really right now, the fact that they pushed the Dodgers to the limit, I do feel like the Yankees come across stronger. I still would build the team differently than the DON has chosen to do. But I do think that their argument becomes even easier when the team that was tied with them and the team that did send them home becomes world champions, if that is the case tonight. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the Fan. Tim is calling from Seacliff. What's up, Tim?
Hey, how you doing? I'm a 63-year-old male. I'm a Giant fan for over 50-plus years, and I'm such an anti-Dumbo Dabo head coach and Shane Bowen. I didn't like the draft of Daniel Jones, but as we see now, Daniel Jones is starting to shine. And I just think that Dabo does not know what he's doing.
Dable, yeah.
And I didn't want Jackson Dart to play this year because if he wins some games, it's going to keep this guy's job. Dart's going to be a very good quarterback in the NFL, and I am so anti-Dabo. He just does not know what he's doing.
All right, but is there
I don't get it.
Is there anything, like I asked the caller before, Tim, what if the Giants go 6-3 in these final 9 games? Would you feel better about it then?
honestly, I won't. Like, I told my best friend I want to get rid of him so that I don't want them to win. This is how much I can't stand
Yeah,
it.
see, I wouldn't go there. Why would you want to do that when there still is a possibility? Right. Like, I get what you're saying. I'm with you, Tim, that based on what we've seen so far, it hasn't been good enough, and I would make a change. I just can't trust it enough. The negatives far outweigh the positives. But if they go 6-3,
you had a great point. Right. What?
But I'm saying if they go 6-3 in the final 9 games, that wouldn't be enough. Like, I'd be excited about that to keep Dable.
Yeah. It just, I cringe when I see him going up and down the sideline like a big crybaby. You know, it's crazy. Like, I can't take this guy anymore. And you had a great point. Look, Scadaboo is going to be a beast because I love college football, and it's a shame he got hurt. But the reason why the Giants' running game got better is because of Jackson Dart.
Yeah,
and you're so right in that point.
It was, and thank you for the call, Tim. We appreciate it. Good luck to your Giants. Once, it wasn't like the Giants had a great running game, and then Dart came in, and the running game either got better or got the same. You could even see when Dart was coming in spurts before he took over as starter, how the running game was improved when he was on the field. So that's where the Giants' run game improved. That's why, now again, if you say this, it's like, oh, they're going to miss Scadaboo. Like, obviously you're going to miss Scadaboo. The same way that you miss Neighbors, even more so you miss Malik Neighbors, but you're going to miss any top player who's not there. It's not the be-all, end-all. Teams recover or overcome injuries all the time. The one that the Giants are playing on Sunday has done that all year long. And I'm not asking them to overcome losing Jackson Dart. I'm asking them to overcome losing a running back. Well, now it's a running back and a wide receiver, which I get is tough, but still, the reason their offense has gotten to another level, Neighbors was here, the offense didn't get to another level. Scadaboo in the ground game was here before Dart was a starter, didn't get to another level. Dart's the one constant that changed everything. The second he took over under center, everything changed for the offense, with different pieces coming and going. Chris is in Tinton Falls. What's up, Chris?
Yo, Sal, what are you? How you doing, buddy? Hey, by the way, big fan. I'm a Yankee fan, as you know. I love that you're doing the Department of Nerds. That's a lot of fun. Good job for you, making Halloween fun.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Check it, bud. Yeah, you got it, dude. All right, so I'm with you. I've been very critical of not only Dable, but Shane. And this is a big one. He dodges a lot of bullets here, and here's my big thing, and I'm with you. They better win because I want them both out. I've wanted them out for a while. I think they've had a good sample size. They go 6-3. It's hard for me to say they haven't earned the right to come back, even if I wouldn't want them back. But I think then you'd have to be fair. But here's one thing. Scadaboo's a big loss, and I love him. But don't let, not you or anybody, let Joe Shane off the hook here because he was taking bows and backflips over Tyrone Tracy last year. He made it known, well, we didn't drop off with Saquon. We got Tyrone. So I should expect of them no drop-off.
Agreed.
Based on their impressions.
Hey, Chris, you just nailed it. That's exactly my point, what I've been saying all week, and the same thing today. Like, hey, this is not the excuses business anymore. They found the quarterback here. So now I want to start seeing some wins. Oh, well, no Neighbors. Oh, like, I feel like I don't know if it's this town, if it's Giant fans, but what are we doing with the excuses? Oh, it's this, it's that. Guys, like, at some point, they got to start winning some games here. Are the Giants back or not? They've got the quarterback. They've got players on defense. To Chris's point, our last caller, they got Tracy, who everybody was last year was like, oh, Tyrone Tracy. Nobody was thinking about taking a running back this year in the draft. It was Tracy's going to be the next stud running back. It's year 4. You better have some depth as an organization. Go beat the Niners. Like, what are we doing here? Well, the schedule's tough. It was rainy that day. Oh, this team is good. The refs woke up on the wrong side of the bed. This guy's hurt. That guy's hurt. Hey, this is New York. This is the Giants. They've got the quarterback. He's shown the ability to score points, lots of them, consistently. Let's go. I don't want to hear it. Because a running back got hurt? I know we all love him, but that's not an excuse to me. Especially when you're playing a team that lost their starting quarterback. Phil is in Mayapack. What's up, Phil?
Sal, I love you, Sal. But you're killing me.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're killing me. Scadaboo was 50% of their offense, and now he's out. So you can't tell me that down 50% of your offense, you're going to win any of the next games, especially against the Cowboys.
You got to figure it out.
Shane.
Phil, what percent of the offense was Brock Purdy for the 49ers?
Oh, he was at least 25% of their offense.
25%. He's the starting quarterback.
At least.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So players continue to get hurt around the league, and still teams win games. So I don't want to hear 50%. And let's just say he was. Let's say Scadaboo was, in fact, 50% of their offense. Then you need to figure out a way to score points without him. Spread it out. How about those big bad? How about the tight ends that we've been hearing about? How about Slayton, the guy that they signed to a 3-year contract? How about Wan'Dale Robinson, who's had himself a decent season? Like, there are options here, Phil. Don't make it so easy on him.
Oh, yeah, Sal, you're absolutely right, but we should have seen those options from the get-go, Sal. They haven't been using their tight ends, and we're in week 9. Now you want them to scramble and figure out how to win with their tight ends.
That's what good,
and with the receivers with Malik on.
That's what good coaches do, Phil. Yes. I mean, look, were they winning with Malik Neighbors here? Neighbors was here last year. How was that?
No, you're absolutely right, Sal. Listen, you're absolutely right, man.
And I know,
we've been doing okay without him.
Right.
But here's my thing: when you have a coach that cannot manage a game well, and now you lose your ground and pound, how are you supposed to win games?
Well, but that's where I'm getting to, Phil. And good call, and we appreciate the kind words and a good back and forth here. You're saying how are you supposed to win with a coach who hasn't shown that, and I'm saying that the coach needs to show that he could figure this out. Good coaches do. And by the way, not that I'm trying to make excuses, because at some point it's got to be about wins, but if the Giants maximize their potential, do you believe, maybe just as simple as this, do you believe that the Giants have maximized their ability and potential this season? I don't. I believe they should be better. I need to start seeing them max out. Forget the win-loss result, because in my mind, before I went off on that little rant, I'm thinking, well, if they play a great game and Dart plays his ass off and Robinson and Theo Johnson are involved and the defense does their part, but somehow, the Niners still come out on top just because at the end of the day, they were the better team due to injury or whatever it may be, that's something that you could at the end of it say, you know what, they just got beat by a better team. I can't sit around and make excuses or absolve Dable or Shane when I feel that the Giants have lost to teams that they are better than multiple times, or even just lost games to teams that they had beat. Even a better, like Denver's better than the Giants. Giants had them beat, and they lost that game. I believe the Giants, especially in week 2, even without Jackson Dart, were better than the Cowboys, and that's a game that they should have won. Are the Giants not better than the Saints? And I could give them 1 or maybe even 2 of those losses. I can't give them all 3. So it's on the coach to maximize what he has to work with. And we will know by watching if what he has to work with is enough, or if it's Shane's fault. Like we could go that way, or just the injuries, whatever it may be. To me, that's an excuse, but you could say, well, you know what? I'm watching this team. I've watched them for 4 years. I know they're getting the most that they have. Look at Tom Thibodeau. He's the great example, a guy that I love. You watch his first year with the Knicks, immediately you saw a change. He was more than maximizing what he had to work with. Reggie Bullock, Elfrid Payton. Like, think about the guys that were on that Knicks team that became a 4 seed in the Eastern Conference before losing to the Hawks. Maximize the roster. Second year, same thing. Third year, same thing. Maybe last year was the one time, at least that I felt, the Knicks didn't maximize their potential. With Brian Dable, year 1, I do believe he maximized what he had. And that's why I was a big Dable supporter and a big Dable believer. Since then, as I've tried to defend him repeatedly year after year, you can't. And he continues to make the same mistakes, costing his team games. I need to see in these final 9 games the Giants maximizing what they have to work with. And I believe if they do, they will have at least 5 wins. Frank is from Long Island. What's up, Frank?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. Good morning.
Good morning, Frank.
Just a couple of things. Just the lack of proper grooming and refinement of Daniel Jones, and look what's happened now. The kicker issue the last 2 years, the caliber of kickers, storming the concussion protocol tent.
Yep.
And just the fact that leaving Jackson Dart to run, like later in the Eagles game, taking chances with him, it just seems selfish in my eyes for Dable, saying that, well, my job is on the line and you have to win at all costs, no matter what. And just your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of negative that has added up, Frank, and thank you for the call. I like Dable's passion. I love it, as a matter of fact. I think at times, on top of the losing, it's gotten to a point where those little things add up. And if you put yourself in Mr. Mara's shoes and you're seeing a guy that has the record that he does, continues to have the little antics and things that Mara, I'm sure, has had to talk to Dable about, whether it's going in the 10, whatever it may be. Those things add up, and the record is a losing record. Like, why bother? Just go find somebody else. I think that's where we're at right now. I'm not going to go nuts about going in the 10. I understand where Dable is coming from, but again, his temperament, it has been a thing that got him in a little bit of hot water before. I'm not going to, the one thing that I would disagree and absolve Dable from, like, Jackson Dart's a football player. He's the quarterback. He's a rookie quarterback. I understand protecting him. I don't care what the game situation is. If he's my starting quarterback, we're playing. And part of his game is to run the football. So the day we stop doing that, like, you might as well just not play the game. So I don't understand, like, oh, we're losing in the game to the Eagles anyway. Why have Jackson Dart run the football? I mean, okay, well then can't I just say, why even have Jackson Dart play this year because they're 2-6 and it's over? They're not going to make the playoffs anyway, so why not just keep them in bubble wrap until next season when you have a real chance? I don't believe in the thought process of having guys who are football players lay off the gas, especially a young football player. It's not a 41-year-old veteran that you want to, prevent from taking hits here. So I'll disagree on that aspect of it. All right, BT and Sal on the Fan. BT out sick. We'll have Nick Costos coming up at 12:40. Get us set for week 9. I almost said week 12. Week 9 in the NFL. Perfect parlay pick segment later on as well. Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Kick on its way. End over end and good!
The Scarlet Knights got a huge Big Ten win last week against the Boilermakers.
And the Scarlet Knights win it!
Next up, the Fighting Illini, kicking off at 2:30 tomorrow. The home of Rutgers football, powered by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers athletics. Let's be healthy together. And The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Odyssey app.
It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/GO, that's GIO, to sign up today. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit FlushingBank.com today. Member FDIC.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the weather first. before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Wouldn't you know if you made $7 million? DC politician Mikey Sherrill is so out of touch, she can't even remember.
It says she made millions on the stock market, tripling her net worth while in Congress, and was then fined for unreported trades. Is that true or false?
So, I think we made money.
Come on. Who wouldn't know if they made $7 million? I'm Jack Chittarelli, born and raised right here in New Jersey, where it's never been harder for the middle class. That's why I'm running for governor, to fix our state. In Congress, the only thing Mikey Sherrill fixed was her bank account. And she voted for higher taxes on your tips and overtime. Mikey even voted for higher taxes on your Social Security. Who does that? Let's be clear. I'm the only candidate with a plan to make New Jersey affordable. I'll reduce property taxes and lower energy bills, because you should keep more of what you earn.
New Jersey, Jack Chittarelli is the change we need. Mikey Sherrill is just more of the same. Paid for by Chittarelli for Governor Inc., P.O. Box 225, Annandale, New Jersey.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Hey, shh.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Having the right winter tire matters. So take control of the roads this winter with a new set of Bridgestone Blizzak tires from Town Fair Tire. Town Fair has the region's largest inventory of Bridgestone tires, all at the guaranteed lowest prices you'll find anywhere. And with 100 locations, you'll find a Town Fair near you. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone Blizzak tires and the most free services for life, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Your gut does more than just digest. It drives your energy, mood, and immunity. At Terra Origin, we blend ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with cutting-edge science to support your gut and whole body wellness. Since 2016, Healthy Gut is crafted with safe, powerful herbs, probiotics, and nutrients, rooted in tradition, proven by science. Feel better from the inside out. Terra Origin, ancient insight, modern wellness. Available at terraorigin.com and select retailers.
Kick off the new season in a Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Looking for an SUV with extra space and style? You'll find an impressive lineup of GLC, GLE, and GLS models in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Or take advantage of their exclusive loaner-to-owner program. Buy or lease a 2025 X-Loaner and enjoy the experience of a like-new Mercedes-Benz. Don't wait. Upgrade your drive this fall at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, the Tri-State's premier destination for luxury driving.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Oh, yeah, Big Blue. They are back. At least I think so, in part. Hey, it's Football Friday on The Fan. Be caller number 10 right now at 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326 for your chance to score a pair of tickets to see the Giants take on San Francisco this Sunday, November 2nd at MetLife Stadium. Plus, we've got you covered before the game. We're adding a pair of passes to a great pregame tailgate party with Savvy Seats taking place at American Dreams Parking Deck B. Win your way in now at 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326. Listen again in the 2 p.m. hour for your chance to win. The only problem, what's that, Rami?
What caller number are you looking for?
10. There you go. Number 10. Eli Manning. The only problem with these glasses, as I'm dressed as the Yankee Department of Nerds here with these glasses, they don't actually work. And then the print on this read is too small for me to see. So struggling a little bit there. Can't put the actual glasses on. Gotta play the role. Got to be the gimmick today, as we are the Yankees Department of Nerds here for Halloween. BT coming as the Mets in the postseason. He didn't show up today. Obviously, he's sick, so that's why he is out. 888-808-1019, the number to call. Nick Costos later on. He'll be on next hour at 12:40, and then the Perfect Parlay pick segment coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. We're talking Giants. John is in Freehold. What's up, John? Hey, John.
Hey, what's up, Sal? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Good. What's going on, Sal?
How are you?
So here's my question. Longtime Giants fan, been following Dable and Shane the last 4 years. They got off to their hot start in 2022, but they haven't done anything since. I just think these guys don't know how to handle being successful, and that transfers over to the game against Denver where they blew the lead. They just don't know how to handle being ahead. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about if they don't know how to handle being ahead. I think they have an issue knowing how to win games. Close out games, win close games. I think they have an issue with that.
That's fair.
I mean, I think it's proven. Is it not, John? We've seen it, whether it's a kicker issue, whatever it may be, and then Dable and the Giants like to say, just like they did the first week of the year, well, it was close in the fourth quarter. Dude, close in the fourth quarter. It's year 4. Start winning. And you got the quarterback. Start winning.
Absolutely. And the other thing I feel like is that Joe Shane, too, feels like, oh, well, I took the team to the playoffs in my first year. I make my moves based on that, and I'm good. He just swears he knows how to be successful, but he only has one year of a track record of that. They've just been bad ever since.
Look, here's the thing, John, and thank you for the call. You can even give Shane and Dable a pass for the last 2 seasons. You could even ignore Daniel Jones and what he's done, or Saquon Barkley and what he's done. How is it that we are in year 4 when the question on the quarterback has been answered, and yet they still have 3 inexcusable losses, and their record is 2-6? And even if I excuse one of those 3, New Orleans, how do they justify losing the Cowboys game and the Broncos game? 2-6 and 4-4 are light years apart. And they should be no worse than 4-4 at this point. With the injuries, all that stuff. With the defense not playing great, they should be no worse than 4-4. That's on the coach. I'm sorry. And or the roster with Joe Shane. It's year 4. Come on. For years it was, well, they don't have a quarterback. What do you want to do? Well, they don't have a quarterback. What do you want to do? Well, now they have the quarterback. Why are they still 2-6? With a defense that was supposed to be the strength of the team coming into the year. Look who it is. Frank the chef. Frank from Rails on the phone. What's up, Frank?
What's up, Sal? How are you?
Good. How are you, Frank?
Good. I agree with your saying. As I'm watching that game Sunday and they're losing, I know Dable can't afford to lose any more games, but I don't want to lose them. Just like you and I talked about Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones is not an indictment on Dable. I told you that he was better than his record was, and he just happens to be in the right situation.
But you don't think that's
Jones talk.
You don't think, Frank, that that's on Dable or Joe Shane? The fact that Daniel Jones, a guy who you believed in, a guy who I tried to believe in after the year of success that they had in the postseason, 1 year removed from the Giants, the guy's playing at an MVP level.
He's in the right situation. He got to sit for a little bit and clear his mind, and he's out of New York with everybody beating on him, and he's in a better situation.
Fair enough.
He was never a horrible quarterback.
Okay, fair enough. So now, Frank, let's focus on this year. 2-6. You think that's acceptable?
It's not, and that's I'm upset about it. I'm not upset about the losing. I'm upset about the fact that it is going to get Dable fired. He needs to win some games here. I don't think he's lost the locker room yet, but this week's a big test. They need to win this week.
Frank, I don't think he's fired yet. I mean, I'm not saying that he can't get fired. I really don't believe. Now, I have no idea. I have no insight to this. I don't believe that they think Dable is fired yet, meaning the people who make that decision, Mara, whoever it may be. wouldn't you just wait? Why not wait the final 9 games? And what if they do go 6-3 or 5-4? Then to me, like,
them.
yeah, well, you want to keep them anyway. All right, so then I'll ask you the counter.
Well, I can't keep them at 2. Like, why am I keeping them?
Well,
you need to win. You're right.
Yeah,
you need to win games. I don't care about injuries. You need to win games.
Well, that's what I was going to ask
NFL.
you. Right, so what if they win 4 or 5 games, meaning total, meaning 2 or 3 more games? Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. But I like the consistency. Like I said, I don't think he's lost the locker room yet. These guys do play for him, and it takes time to build the championship. Something in this league. It's not. I know it's 4 years. Yes, I get that. But like you said, we're evaluating him after this year. So 5 wins, 4 wins. And who are we going at? I'm looking at the list of coaches out there. And the only guy I probably want would be Kingsbury.
What about Lane Kiffin?
I want a guy who's coached in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair enough.
I don't know.
What about Gruden?
It's about who else? No, I don't want Gruden. I don't want Belichick.
Yeah, and they probably wouldn't either at this point. Frank, I get it. And you're right. We've talked about it. And as always, thank you for the call, Frank the Chef. He is tremendous. Frank at Rails. We love talking to him. Text me all the time about his Giants. Good to have him call in here. We talk about this all the time. Like, I want Dable to stay. Not like that's not my opinion. I'm saying I want them to have success to the point where they do stay. I think that would be a great thing. I hate the idea of having a head coach and GM select a quarterback and then firing that regime only to have somebody else come in with a different quarterback that they didn't pick. Even though that's happened before in other places, and you could say that it might have some success, it's not, to me, a recipe for success. So I want to see the Giants have some success here and win some games and then have the true belief, okay, now I believe that Dable can win some games, and next year should be the best year yet that we've seen with him and Shane. I want that to happen. Based on evidence, I don't believe that Dable is that guy. How can I believe that he's going to be the guy to get them to the Super Bowl or win a division when he barely can win division games? There's too much, and especially the way that they're losing. You can't lose the way you lost to Dallas. You can't lose the way you lost to Denver. It can't happen. One would be bad enough. It happened twice on top of losing to New Orleans. Ryan is calling from Rockland. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Sal, what's going on?
How are you, Ryan?
All right, man. So you're talking about maximizing potential. So you agree that in Dable's first year, he maximized that roster.
Yes.
He got every little bit he could have out of that roster.
Yes.
So, and genuinely asking, because I don't have the answer, why do you think he's not able to maximize a roster that I think is much, much better than the rosters he's had in the previous few years?
Ryan, I think that's the $1 million question. I wish I had the answer to that. I don't know. But it's not my job to understand why. It's just that he's not, therefore somebody else needs to try. That's where we're at right now. Now, maybe that could be different in 9 weeks. I don't know, after the final 9 games here, but I don't have the answer to that. It doesn't make any sense to me. They have the best roster. Now, you could also say, well, maybe the roster's just not that good. Fair enough. It might not be that good, but it's definitely better than what he's had to work with so far. Nobody would argue that.
It's definitely good enough to win games. It's definitely good enough to compete. Whereas when you saw this team over the last couple of years, it was unwatchable.
Right. And here's the thing, Ryan. They are competing, but yet 3 games. 3. Like, think of how many that is when we're talking about an NFL season. 3 games that they competed in, they lost that you could argue they should have won all 3 and definitely should have won 2 out of 3. That just can't happen. It can't happen with a team that doesn't have as much wiggle room or margin for error. So those are the primary reasons where I'm like, God, I tried to believe in this guy. They got the quarterback. That's been a success. But how come they're still 2-6 when they should be much better and the offense is scoring a bunch of points? How are they still 2-6? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think missing Wink Martindale is kind of overlooked. I think that's kind of a big deal.
Right. Well, okay. Go ahead.
I also feel like I've watched a lot of these games where the Giants have leads over the past few years and they get a little complacent. I feel like Dable was a lot more aggressive earlier when he was coaching the team.
Wink was certainly aggressive with the defense early on, so that's another part to Wink. But yes, I agree 100%.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think he's a dead man walking. I see him there on the sideline. He's throwing fits. He's losing his mind. I think he's feeling the heat big time.
I think, Ryan, you just nailed it, and thank you for the call. And that's why, like, I love the passion, but you could tell he's feeling the heat, and he's feeling the heat because he's got to start winning. He knows it. He should be winning, and they're still losing. I don't know how you could justify bringing him back. Now, what I hope really doesn't happen is they bring Shane back and not Dave. Like that, I don't want to happen. Either both go or both can stay. But where I will stop short of saying they need to just both be gone is that I'm going to give them 9 more games. There's no need to make that decision right now. And they've come close. They're close. But I need to start seeing the results go in favor of Dable. But you nailed it. You can feel the pressure. You can feel from Dable. You can see it. And it's about to combust. It kind of is. And the longer that the losing continues, the worse it's going to be. And then they're going to have no choice but to move on. But you nailed it. He knows it. He feels it. They should be better. It dates back to week 2, even before Jackson Dart. Like, you can't be giving away wins in the NFL. They've given away 3, at the very least 2. It just can't happen. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical, but did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey. This Odyssey Sports Minute brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Look out for pedestrians. Safety is a shared responsibility.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. LSU's a mess right now. Scott Woodward's out as athletic director just days after they fired head coach Brian Kelly, and the governor himself helped push them out the door. When politics starts calling plays in your athletic department, that's a bad sign. Between coaching drama and the athletic department turnover, LSU doesn't need more noise, it needs stability. I'm Maggie Gray.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at depend.com.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Partly sunny today, high 57. Windy for trick-or-treating tonight.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Calling all Hoops fans, get off the bench and onto the court for another exciting basketball season with BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night. Don't miss a single highlight or buzzer-beating shot by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today and make your bets. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Hey, it's John Gallucci Jr., President and CEO at JAG Physical Therapy, and I'm so excited to share with you that October is National Physical Therapy Month. Physical therapists throughout the country are helping people move each and every day. Physical therapists are here to help you stay balanced, strong, keep movement going, and keeping you healthy and doing the activities of life you enjoy. Do you have back pain? Do you have knee pain? These simple injuries can all be prevented if you visit your physical therapist before the injury. JAG Physical Therapy has state-of-the-art facilities where our physical therapists have top equipment to help you recover from your injury or illness as quick as possible and ready to go back into the game of life.
JAG is the only outpatient physical therapy and occupational therapy provider that serves the 5 boroughs, Long Island, Rockland, Westchester, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Schedule your visit today at jagpt.com. That's JAGPT.com.
Get back the life you love at JAG Physical Therapy.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
Out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics Data 5G Report United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on The Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. I'm an idiot. I mean, I get it, but this is, come on, it's funny. The one thing I guess missing from the costume, and for those of you who are just listening on radio, and why wouldn't you be? I mean, this is a radio show, but we are on YouTube, and there are digital posts now about the costume. It is Halloween, and I am a member of the Yankees Department of Nerds, the DON. One of the calls brought that up a few weeks back, and I love it. He said, Yankees Department of Nerds. I was like, you know what? The DON, Department of Nerds. One thing that might be missing, though, Dove, is the propeller on top of the hat. Right, I probably could have had that to maybe take it to another level.
When you texted me last night to ask me about a Yankee hat,
yeah,
you didn't ask for a propeller.
I know. Would you have had one? I mean,
no. I
thought about the things to get, and I figured somebody had, I'm not going to go buy a Yankee hat. Like, what am I going to do with that? It'd be a waste of $20, $30. So I figured somebody had to have one, but meanwhile, I couldn't find one. You were the last resort, Dove. I was like, Dove.
Thanks.
Well, I said, Dove has to have one. He's coming into everybody else is out sick. I know Dove's going to be here. He has to have a Yankee hat. I didn't want to tell BT what it was, so then you did have a traditional Yankee hat. I didn't want one of those new, I wanted the traditional one. I asked Rami, he did not have them, but the propeller could have taken this to maybe another level. So maybe next year we could get back to that. 888-808-1019, the number to call. What do you got?
Clown nose, too.
I don't want to go that far. No, maybe I could be Mike Brown if he's still around next year.
Very good.
You got to get one of those real shirt protectors for the pocket.
Well, yeah, I had this shirt. I just happen to have a white shirt with a pocket. I got my pencils in it, my DON label on it. I mean, this is, I'm just waiting to see how far it goes. If it gets across the desk of the manager, we'll see. I am not a data applicator. That would be, in fact, like Boone or a manager. I'm not dressed as that. I am a Department of Nerds, DON, for the New York Yankees.
Right, you're dressed as Boone's boss.
Correct. Or, just a part of that. Not necessarily, a part of that.
The people making the decisions for him, yeah.
The lineups and things like that. Yes, the DON. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. We're talking Giants football. Remember, plenty more to do on the football stuff. Week 9, Costos, 1 hour from now. He's nuts. You know that. I love him. We'll go around the league, get you set for all the action in Week 9, in depth with the Giants, everywhere else as well. Perfect parlay pick segment, 125. Zach is calling from Virginia. What's up, Zach?
What's going on, Sal? Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to call in and say, with Dable and Shane, I think they both should go either in the middle of the season, at the end of the season, because the excuse that they now just have their guy with Dart is, I think, such a weak excuse, because this is season 6, I think, or season 5 for them. I'm losing track at this point. they had so many opportunities to go get their guy. And obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, they should have lost the game last year against the Colts. Or a couple years ago, they had beat the Patriots. And then with the DeVito, they went on the run. Like, no team is just going to willingly lose those games. But it took them out of position to get potentially Jaden Daniels or Drake May. And even the year after they went to the playoffs, you know, like, I was a big advocate for not bringing back Daniel Jones and trying to trade up in the draft for a guy like Anthony Richardson. Now, looking back, that was probably the better move to not get him because he's terrible. But, like, we would have known earlier on if they were the guys or not.
Right.
Now we're in a longer part of their tenure when this could have been over a long time ago.
Right, and by the way, Zach, it's not like, oh, the Giants franchise would never survive, and thank you for the call, without selecting Jackson Dart. There are plenty of other franchises that have quarterbacks that aren't Jackson Dart that are having success. Remember, the Giants could have had Bo Nix. Now, you can say, well, Sal, I wouldn't want Bo Nix. I'd rather have Jackson Dart. Okay, but look at what Sean Payton has done as a head coach since he's gotten to Denver. Had to clean up the Russell Wilson disaster, and now here we are, and Sean Payton's got one of the best defenses in the NFL, an offense that is loaded with weapons everywhere that he brought in, and a quarterback that he selected that the Giants, among other teams, didn't want, that took him to the playoffs in year one, and are going to, at the very least, take him to the playoffs in year two. So it's not like, wow, they got Jackson Dart and everything else should be overlooked. You're right, this could have been cleaned up years ago. It's why I was begging and screaming. I didn't want Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley to be here when Shane and Dable took over. Like year one, right out of the gate, year one. And yet they were here. We know the reasons why. Then they had the success. That led to other issues, meaning extending Daniel Jones, which led to an issue in year two and then again in year three. And here we are in year four, and it's kind of like year one. But even with all of that, forget all of that, because it is history and there's nothing we could do about it. You would have made a different move. I would have made a different move. It is what it is at this point. And we're happy that the franchise quarterback is here with Jackson Dart. The next level of evaluation, because remember, coming into the year, it was always about, for me anyway, it was always about Jackson Dart. Okay, for once and for all, we got to see what Brian Dable could do with his franchise quarterback. And now that we've seen that already, I wasn't even sure we'd see Jackson Dart start prior to, I mean, maybe this was going to be the game that I thought. Get by the tough matchups in Denver, in Philly, maybe have him make his debut at home against the Niners. So that would have been obviously midway through the season. Well, now we've already seen Jackson Dart, what he could do, and we know, at least we think, and there's strong evidence to believe that he's the guy. Now there's got to be the next level of evaluation. And that's everything else. That's where it's clearly on Dable. It's on the defense. It's on the win-loss record. It's no longer about, well, what can Dable do with his guy that they handpicked? We know that they could have success. Now it's, well, can they actually win? Because that's what true success is, winning football games. Adam is in Brooklyn. What's up, Adam?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Sal. There's so many things to go over now when you talk about the Giants from the top down. So we can talk about John Mara and his inability to hire anybody that's going to be progressive with his team. However, our defensive coordinator, arguably the worst in the league, arguably the worst in the history of the league. With what we have on the edge and what we have in the middle, you know, we should be doing something. That being said, we have a team that gives desire to a head coach or a GM for that matter. Get rid of these guys. We got a quarterback. We have edge rushers. We have the foundational pieces. But these guys, look at the GM's track record. Who has he drafted? How many Pro Bowlers has he drafted in 4 years?
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a Pro Bowler on the offensive line. Like, and they talk about
amen to that.
Last year, Adam, we had the conversation. BT and I were having like the thought from either people who cover the Giants or around the Giants, like, oh, we had a great draft. The Giants had a great draft. And you know what I was saying? Well, why aren't they winning games then? If all these players that you took were so good, where are the wins? You guys stay like the team stinks. So, like at some point, all their greatness with all their selections and the fact that they were able to find a franchise quarterback. I mean, how many years is it going to take to win a few games?
Too many years. And again, as a season ticket holder, how many years? I spent my whole 30s waiting for a team that's going to contend. It didn't happen. Here we are. I'm 40, and I'm saying, again, get rid of these guys. let the season ride out. Let him coach the quarterback, and then let's see who we can get because we have a franchise quarterback now. Somebody's going to want to come and coach his team. We need a defensive-minded coach, but, that's not the way it works anymore.
But Adam, let me just ask you this, and we appreciate the call. If they go 6-3 or 5-4 over the final 9, would you be okay with keeping Shane and Dable?
I would not. I would not because, again, I don't trust the GM to draft. His evaluation, his talent, he's eating peanut butter and jellies for lunch. He should be eating porterhouses.
Thank you for the call, Adam. See, you've already made up your mind. I can't go there yet. My inclination is to say that, but I can't go there yet. I got to be fair to him. And I don't need to go there yet. I don't need to make that decision. Why not just watch the final 9 games? And if they are, I was going to say as good as I believe that they are, but it's like I don't believe that they're a great team. I believe that they're a team that can compete week in and week out. And I don't believe that their schedule is impossible, especially when you look at the last 4 games. Like, think about this. At home against the Commanders, now, they are not having a good year. I know that Jaden Daniels has been banged up the majority of it. Still, that's got to be a winnable game. At home against Washington. You beat Philadelphia, whether Daniels plays or not. It's a down year for Washington. That's got to be a winnable game. The Vikings have been awful. Another very winnable game. The Raiders have been awful in Vegas. Another winnable game. And then the Cowboys, the final week of the season, you should have beaten the Cowboys week 2. Their defense is god-awful. God-awful. And the Giants' defense should be able to slow them down for a change. Like, that's a winnable game. Now, will they win all 4? Probably not. Could they win 3 out of those 4? Could they at least win 2 out of those 4? They better. And if they beat the Niners, they have a chance against the Bears. You could be talking about 4 or 5 wins. That's what I'm saying. 6 is probably unrealistic, but if they win the next 2 and then the final 4, that's what a good team would do. Beat the teams that they're supposed to. Niners at home, on the road in Chicago. And then close out with 4 strong. 4 straight, strong finish to the year, looking on to next year. That's what you really want from the Giants. But I take 5. And then I could but just have a different perspective of, okay, we checked the box with the franchise quarterback, and now we check the box that they could actually win some of these games. At some point, it's got to come down to wins and losses. It's year 4. It's year 4. Imagine in year 4, we're sitting here saying with Muji and Glenn, well, you know what, they're 1-7 again, but who knows? Like at some point, it's got to be about the wins and losses. It's been about everything but so far. Now, to me, it is strictly on the wins and losses. And the quickest way there for the Giants should be that defense that was built by Shane and Dable to be successful this year and be their identity this year. It has been anything but. More of your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019. WFAN NFL Football is powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I think what's happening in New England is legit. I think now they can win the AFC East.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx. As a kid, he made some mistakes, but right out of high school, he joins the Army. Picks up skills, does construction and HVAC his whole life. Paul Rivera's a guy who can say,
I love my life. I've done everything right. So, where's the rub?
He gets pulmonary fibrosis, and the only hope is a lung transplant. Poor guy's close to curtains. When out of the blue, one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, hears about his case and takes it on. Not only does our friend get a new lung, he gets a whole new life.
All right.
He keeps getting stronger. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
did they give that guy a new lung or a new motor? The story, Mr. Giamatti.
well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Make the smart choice, the Mazda CX-5. With standard all-wheel drive, advanced safety, and effortless handling, there's more to a Mazda than meets the eye. Lease yours for $229 a month and elevate your journey wherever the road takes you. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday. And this week, it's the next chapter in the epic rivalry as the Chiefs visit the Bills in an AFC Championship rematch. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL and get started today.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on the team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
WFAN will now transmit the weekly test of the emergency alert system. Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon. Just before noon, I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. And by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack. Get all your parlays, money line, and prop wagers made on all the sports action at the Meadowlands Racetrack's FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager and present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Dial 1-800-GAMBLER. The morning after a 28-6 home loss to the Ravens, their 7th defeat of the season, the Dolphins have parted ways with long-term GM Chris Greer. He's had this job for 10 years, but no playoff wins. Head coach Mike McDaniel reportedly safe for the rest of the season at least. The Jaguars have placed wideout/corner Travis Hunter on IR with a non-contact knee injury suffered in practice yesterday. He'll miss at least 4 games. The team not sure if Hunter will be back at any point this season. And the WNBA and its players have agreed to a 30-day extension to their current CBA, allowing negotiations for a new one to continue without any kind of work stoppage. Fan Weather is sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice, from simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries. They're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. It's 53 degrees and cloudy in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes come up every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn.
BT is out back on the Fan. We are now on the King topic of the day on this Friday now afternoon. BT is out sick today. He'll be back with us on Monday. We're here on this Halloween as I'm trying to eat a protein bar here. Sorry about that. And as you know, I've been sick all week, so my voice is barely holding up here. I don't have SNY afterward, which is a good thing. Taking off to go trick-or-treating. I will change my outfit. 2 costumes. You know, little Sammy got dressed this morning, Halloween, and she's looking for Daddy. I had to come in there. You know, I came in her bedroom this morning with the big Stitch. I'm going to be Stitch. She's Lilo. She wanted me to be Stitch. So I had that mask on. And then I had to change as I'm coming to work. And she's like, Daddy, what are you? I said, well, I'm a Yankees nerd. She's not going to know the whole Department of Nerds thing. So she's, oh, Yankees nerd. Yes, I'm a Yankees nerd. But for you guys who know, the DON, the Department of Yankee Nerds, that's what I am today. For Halloween, I'll go home, change up a little bit into Stitch, and then we could go trick-or-treating. Anyway, voice is struggling, and then I eat a protein bar during the break, and now I need to take a sip of water here. Rami, you want to talk for a second? Here's your chance, your big opportunity to shine. Go ahead, Rami. Take it away, whatever you want.
Yeah, so I think, first of all, about the Giants, the point that you were trying to make before, if you know the decision, if you don't know your decision yet about Dable and Shane, what's the next 9 games going to prove to you? That's the only question.
Okay, I think I'm back. Good timing there, Rami. Yeah, I mean, it was Frank the Chef, I think, who called and kind of brought up that point where he wanted Dable back. And again, I was fighting with BT about this weeks ago, where I want to keep the regime that picked the quarterback. If the quarterback's successful, I'd like to keep that together. However, if you see evidence that would not give you reason to believe that they could actually win games, then just to keep them together for continuity to me does not make sense. And that brings us back to the main point of the show. In the final 9 games, it's about winning. Now, I don't want to hear excuses anymore. It's year 4. I don't want to hear about neighbors being out. You've seen the Giants overcome that already this year. I don't want to hear about Scadaboo coming in. Now, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. Like, would we all love to see Scadaboo and neighbors and a fully healthy Giants roster? Of course. That's not the point here. Point is, other teams have injuries, just like the 49ers, who are likely to go with Mac Jones. As Nick Costos would say, Mac Jones. Costos will be coming up in about 40 minutes. I know he'll love that. I listen to him every Sunday. It's catchy. It catches on some of his things. Anyway, they have a backup quarterback going. What's their excuse? They're still 5-3 on the year. It's a road game for them against a tough rookie quarterback. Offensive Player of the Month in the NFL. Or rookie, whatever it is. Offensive Rookie of the Month. Whatever one of those lame awards that Dart won. So I don't want to hear the excuses. And really, it's supposed to be about the defense. The one thing that I think we could all agree on, we could argue whether you would keep Shane, fire Shane, keep Dable, fire them both, keep them both, keep one, fire the other, whatever. One thing I think we would all agree on, we could also disagree on when you would go to Jackson Dart. I wouldn't have done it early on. I was proven wrong by that. Glad they did. You could disagree on whether you would have gone with him, whatever it may be. One thing we all, I believe, agreed on was that coming into the year, the Giants' defense was supposed to be their identity. And that was going to be the unit that you can trust that would carry them the majority of the season, or really all season long. And it never has been. There have been glimpses. There have been individuals like Burns who have stood out more than others. Abdul Carter hasn't been a bust. I wouldn't go there. I mean, you like to see the numbers increase as far as actually getting to the quarterback and getting him down as opposed to just the pressures. Also, it's some of the Giants' fault because they were playing him out of position. Defense has also blown 2 big late leads, whether it's in Dallas, whether it's in Denver. And we just haven't seen enough. Dexter Lawrence obviously coming under fire this week with Carl Banks going after one of his own. People trying to maybe motivate Dex because he's had a down year. Brian Baldinger's been calling him out since week 2. He did that with BT, and I was like, whoa, Dexter Lawrence, wow. So there's clearly an issue with that defense. That's got to get fixed, and that's on the head coach. We've seen multiple coordinators. We've seen a difference in performance with where Wink was here, the defense was good. Without Wink, hasn't been very good. That's on the head coach. Figure it out and go win some football games. That's where we're at with Big Blue. BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Nick is in North Carolina. What's up, Nick?
Hey, Sal. How you doing, buddy? How's everything?
How are you, Nick?
Good. I don't think we should get rid of this regime right now. I say we hold on to them unless we wonder if we could get a better head coach, which I don't really see any around.
Well, you don't know how it's going to shake out. And what if John Harbaugh got fired from Baltimore? What if Mike Tomlin became available? What if is Lane Kiffin a better than? You're also not replacing Vince Lombardi here. You're replacing Brian Dable, who through his first 8 games is 2-6 in the last 3 years. Like, I mean, it's come on.
No, that's why I said we got to replace him with somebody better.
Right, but that should be easy. I mean, my point is replacing Dable with somebody better shouldn't be that difficult because it's hard to imagine somebody being worse if you go based off of the record.
Right.
All due respect.
How many games our offense stood up and was great? Our problem is a defensive coordinator.
Right.
He is horrible. Now, if one of these head coaches, as defensive-minded head coach, they get on the hot seat, will get fired, I think we should hire anybody we hire as a defensive coordinator, I think will be better than this guy we got.
Right, but
I think if
Nick,
we get
Nick, who hired him?
I understand that.
And how many guys are they going to get to hire and fire defensive coordinator before you realize it's the head coach? Also, is it really on the defensive coordinator when you have players the caliber of players the Giants have up front? Like, come on, with Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, come on, man. I'd be out there defensive coordinator. Guys, go line up and go get him, really. What do you need from me, okay? I don't need to tell you what to do. Just go get him. Come on, Dex, wake that ass up. Let's go.
Exactly. I think it's the defensive coordinator should be on him and make them better. He's not making them better. How come the offense has gotten better?
Right, with
the coordinator.
Right, but Nick, we just choose to. I'm not going to take away from what Dable's done offensively, and thank you for the call. You're choosing to, and some others choose to do it as well, focus on the coordinator. To me, it goes a step above that. We've seen different coordinators here. Why isn't Wink Martindale still here? Whose fault is that? That's Brian Dable's issue. And by the way, if you go back in the archives, because none of you would ever do that, right? Who goes back in the archives and pulls up old takes? But if you go back in the archives, I was on Dable's side with that. BT and I would fight about that. He was more with Wink. I was more with Dable. Saying when you have a coordinator disrespecting a head coach like that, that's it. Out. But you can't argue the success that they had with Wink Martindale as the defensive coordinator. And they themselves brought in Shane Bowen. So am I supposed to blame the guy that they hired or blame the guy that hired the guy that they hired that's not doing the job? Of course nobody's going to be happy with the job Bowen's done. I would put the blame more on, to me, he should be not irrelevant, but he's the last of it. Star players got to be better. The depth needs to be better. So you could blame the players, you could blame Shane, and the head coach should oversee everything. The coordinator's the least important of the bunch. If you go GM, coach, players, coordinator's the least important. And that's the one that everybody keeps focusing on with the Giants. James is calling from Arlington, North Arlington, New Jersey. What's up, James?
Well, thanks for taking my call. That caller, a few calls ago, he mentioned a porterhouse steak. And obviously, Rails has great porterhouse steaks.
Yes, they do.
Well, the thing is, now, I'm going to make a correlation between coaching and the restaurant because the chef, the owner, they get good meat, and they have a very good chef. So that makes for a great steak. Now, the Giants, when you think about it, this is definitely fan abuse. Because, when you really think about the coach, and here you are talking about the defensive coordinator they fired. Well, he was afraid of the defensive coordinator maybe replacing him. But you have to have a lot of you have to think of yourself as not being able to be replaced, but being able to have two good coaches working together. Because if we go back to the 85 Bears, they hated each other, and they won a Super Bowl. And maybe if they would have stayed together longer, they might have won more. But there was no reason for the Giants to change the defensive coordinator. And I think that's more of a reason why they have to get rid of the coach. And it's definitely fan abuse.
Yeah, I don't know about fan abuse, James. They're not trying to hurt you, and thank you for the call. We appreciate the passion. They're not trying to hurt you. They just haven't shown that they know how to win for multiple reasons. And that's something that I personally, and I know I'm not alone, we've taken a lot of calls, we've talked about this for a while, I cannot run that risk. And I'm a good person to ask because I was a believer in Dable. I'm not just talking about the hire. I'm talking about even as recently as last year. So it's not like I've always been anti-Dable. And I feel like I've been fair. If anything, I've gone the other way, protecting him when he's given me no reason to protect him. So much so that even as recently as this year, once he made the change to go to Jackson Dart, saying that I'm riding this out with these two, and I want to see what Dable can do moving forward. Like it's a whole new start. Forget about what happened before. However, when you lose a game like they lost to the Broncos, on top, I can't forget everything else. I could try to ignore it and pretend it didn't exist and pretend that this is year one. But I really can't forget it because I did see it. So when you lose a game like they did in Denver, you can't lose. You can't lose that game. I'm sorry. Any competent head coach figures out a way to make sure they walk away with a win. Could be scary, could get tight, whatever. You've got to win that game. Multiple times over, really. They had multiple chances to win that game because they blew it twice. They could have won that game before they had to have Jackson Dart and that miracle pass interference call touchdown. They could have won it before, so that was strike one. And then they got the lead even after that. They were fortunate with that call, score the touchdown. Then that should have been the definitive nail in the coffin. And they didn't. And I've seen them do the same thing as recently as week 2 against the Cowboys. Not to mention the other stuff that we talk about with the kicker situation costing them games for years. That can't continue. It can't continue.
And 9 games is going to be enough for you to change your mind on all that?
No, I'm saying that I need to see these final 9 games. I don't know if that's going to change or not. 9 games is still a significant sample size. They've got to win these games. If they go 6-3, they go 5-4, then yes. My mind is not made up. I'm still evaluating. I'm just saying that the idea of keeping him and Dart together would not just be the primary reason when you continue to see losses pile up the way that they do. Joe is calling from Lavalette. What's up, Joe?
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call. I'm over Dable. I'm done with him. I don't need to wait 9 games. I think the next thing with him is that first, it was, he needs his quarterback. He needs his guy. Now the excuse after we lose every game is going to be, he had no weapons. So I don't want to hear it. Like you said, injuries happen in the league. You still got to win. It's about wins and losses. But I would have fired Dable after last game when that game was out of reach and they ran Dart twice back-to-back. And I think on the first time they ran him on the goal line or whatever it was, he got smoked and then he ended up getting in the next play. But the game's out of reach. What are we doing running the franchise quarterback in that situation, letting him take hits?
Yeah, because he's a football player, Joe. He's a quarterback. What the season's out of reach. Should we not play Jackson Dart today or Sunday?
No, we got to win. We got to win. But I'm saying at that point in the game.
But Joe, he's a football player and is a young football player. Like you can't protect him. He's got to go out and play. If it were any other quarterback, would you have an issue with that? Like starting quarterbacks play from start to finish of a game, unless it's really a really bad blowout. And even in that case, if it's a young quarterback, you want to get him as much experience as possible. So I respect your opinion on it. I know you're not alone. I don't have an issue with that. I'm all for playing the young quarterback. He plays a reckless style of football, so be it. If he gets hurt one day, you got to live with it. I mean, what if Cam Scatterbo was in the game with that? Would you have a problem with that? What about all the other starters? Is Andrew Thomas in the game as well? Are you complaining about that? What if he gets hurt? You there, Joe? I guess not. I respect your opinion. I understand your standpoint. But where do you draw the line then? Why not take, somebody's got to play. There's more game left. You can't just say, well, we're not going to win this game. Let's get everybody off the field, all the important players. Andrew Thomas, who's always hurt, you going to have him out there? If Neighbors were healthy, he'd be playing. If Scatterbo were healthy, he would have been playing. I can't get on the head coach for that. You gotta. You're not looking at the score saying, "Well, there's no chance we're going to win this game." You got to try to fight until the end. That's the way that I would look at it. Now, if he gets hurt, you got to live with that. But that's part of life, and especially part of life being a football player. Eddie from Long Island, what's up, Eddie?
Hey, Sal, what's up? Thanks for taking my call, brother.
How are you, Eddie?
Good. I'm glad to see that you're high on my Broncos. That game against the Giants was something else. I still can't believe they pulled it out. But I called to remind you of something you told me in 1998, and I don't know if you would remember it, but you walked up to me in the retail store we were working at and said, I can't believe both of your teams won in the same year. So I don't know if you remember that.
I don't. Now, what was this, Home Depot?
Yes. You walked up to me after the Broncos won the Super Bowl.
What department were you in, Eddie?
I was in the lumber department.
Okay.
And you walked right up to me and says, I cannot believe both of your teams won in the same year. You told me exactly your words. I just want one.
What were your Yankees and Broncos?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, guess what? All these years later, Eddie, I'm still 1-1. I still haven't had one. All these years later.
I know. You're still waiting, Sal, and I feel for you, brother.
Yeah, I know. At least I got out of Home Depot. Thank God for that, though, Eddie. How are things otherwise?
Yes, me too. I've been long gone. But I'm glad to see you high on the Broncos. But to me, until Kansas City gets knocked off, that's the team I still think is the best in the AFC.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing Eddie, and thank you for the call. Good reminiscing there. I don't know why I don't really recall that. I mean, I worked at multiple Home Depots for whatever reason over the years. I do remember working with a Broncos fan. For some reason, Eddie, I can't put your face in my mind, but I appreciate the call. And yeah, I mean, back then, think about that, 98. A very young Sal in the prime of his fandom, the Atlanta Falcons just getting beat in the Super Bowl by your Broncos. You had the Yankees in the midst of their dynasty. Just give me one. This guy Eddie, come on, Eddie and Lumber's got 2 in 1 year. Just give me one. Fast forward 30 years, I still don't have one. Still waiting. Come on. But I am looking forward to, look, we love the NFL, and obviously the games around the NFL outside of New York are going to be sadly more relevant than the ones here, like Buffalo and Kansas City this week. But I cannot wait until we get Chiefs, Broncos. When is that game, as a matter of fact? I looked it up last week. But that'll be a huge game in the landscape of the AFC. Tyler calling from New Windsor. What's up, Tyler?
Hey, how are you? Thank you for taking my call.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I personally think because you haven't had a full year, I know it's only, 3 games he didn't play in, Jackson Dart. He had those spurts of different formations. I think you bring back Brian Dable. I also am still on the fire Shane Bowen, but I just look back over the years, when you were talking about, you had Abdul Carter, Dex, Kayvon, Brian Burns, those 4. Why are they not playing more together on the same line? I get it. Maybe Kayvon's not an inside interior lineman, but, even back in the day when it was OC Kiwi and Justin Tuck and Canty, you had the NASCAR package. Why don't we have something more like that? I feel like they don't play them enough. And, yeah, it's on Dable as well. But if you're Joe Shane, if you're going to clean house, you got to clean out coordinators, your head coach, everybody, if that's the route you're going to go. I just don't see that happening and wouldn't want it to happen because you want to keep developing Jackson Dart.
Right, but why can't you develop Jackson Dart with somebody who's better if, in fact, you believe that you could do better? And, again, we still have 9 games to decide. I don't think, though, Tyler, okay, fire Bowen. Great, what's that going to do? And you're going to have Shane and Dable again pick another head coach? Who's picking the kicker? Like, how come they couldn't pick a competent kicker, which could have led to more wins? So there's a lot. It's more than just the defense. Go ahead.
No, I agree with the whole kicking situation. That's, 3 years now, but it's always – again, though, we're still trotting out Graham Gano, who's 39 years old, which Graham Gano, very good NFL kicker 10 years ago with Carolina. I'm over that, too. It's time to go out and get a new kicker, 100%. And then you had Judd and all them and Wei Koo on the practice squad. You didn't pull him up. Yeah, that's definitely on the head coach, for sure. There's a lot of mistakes that Brian Dable makes, and that doesn't even need to be said, I feel like, because everybody in New York knows it that watches this team. I just feel like if you're talking about schemes-wise, Dable's not a defensive scheme guy to me. If you're looking at it, and you brought Shane Bowen in because nobody wanted to work with Brian Dable in this organization.
Right, okay, but that's
Wink Martindale.
But that's another problem, Tyler. That is separate from the defensive coordinator. And thank you for the call. That's on the head coach. A better head coach has a better foundation by year 4. A better head coach has things set up to where even if he loses guys because they move on to have success, and ideally that's what you want, right? You want to have success as a staff, as a team, as a franchise. If you have success, like the Eagles, teams are going to pluck your coordinators like they've done with the Eagles, and yet the Eagles continue to win. So why can the Eagles get to a Super Bowl, lose coordinators, win a Super Bowl, lose coordinators, and still be one of the best teams consistently in the NFL? It's either the roster, that's the GM, or the head coach, Sirianni, who I don't even love, but still the head coach, or both. That's it, because it's not the coordinators because they've come and gone. And it's not, this is just one example, the most recent example. It's not them. They've come and gone. So it can't be the coordinators. It's the GM. It's the head coach. That's what's got to be the constant. What happened if you hired Wink Martindale, but he had so much success and then he went on to be a head coach somewhere else? Then what? Oh, well, we're screwed. Like, I'm sorry, you've got to be able to survive without Wink Martindale or whatever top defensive coordinator. That's why it comes down to Shane and Dable, who in 4 years, have not shown they can win. The year they had the most success, ironically enough, was year one with everybody else's players. It shouldn't work like that. That's ass backwards. BT and Sal on the Fan. Nick Costa's coming up in about 20 minutes. For over 92 years, Approved Oil has been the leading heating oil dealer in New York. And right now, with low rates, it's the perfect time to lock in your price for winter before cold weather pushes prices up. Don't wait. Call today and lock in your savings and enjoy a worry-free season. Approved Oil has been delivering a brighter, warmer tomorrow for almost a century. Backed by superior services and unmatched reliability, when it comes to your home heat, it has to be Approved Oil. Visit freezerate.com or call 718-238-1050.
Scatterboo is down and shaken up.
Adversity has presented itself all season in many forms for Big Blue.
Oh no, it's bad. I just saw his right foot bent completely to the right.
How that adversity is met reveals what a team is made of.
We got to start figuring out ways to win.
Week 9 brings San Francisco to town with Christian McCaffrey looking to wreak some Halloween havoc on MetLife. Will the Giants rise up and get back in the win column? Find out right here Sunday at 1 on your home for New York Giants football. 1019 FM WFAN. And always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So if you've missed the start of your game and you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you could even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet does win. So just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to sign up today. We all love the app around here. It is safe, secure, and when you get paid instantly. So play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official sportsbook of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
At Audi Manhattan, experience best-in-class service in the heart of New York. Visit their Audi flagship store today, conveniently located on 55th and 11th. Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
We all must do our part to keep our roadways safe. When driving, look out for pedestrians. Slow down and keep a 4-foot distance while passing. Let's look out for each other. Safety is a shared responsibility. Brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today.
Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $159 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM841631. MSRP 26980. Zero security deposit. Ends 10/31/25.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT, it's out back on the Fan. BT out sick on this Football Friday. Back with us next week. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. We'll continue with the calls here on the Giants. Nick Costos will come up next segment. Looking forward to talking Week 9 NFL with Nick. We'll have a perfect parlay pick segment coming up at 1:20. Yesterday on the show, I mentioned that I had, as on my way to work, I was driving in and I saw a deer run across, a couple of 100 feet in front of me. And I never had that happen before. And in Jersey, it's like there are deer everywhere. See dead deer all over 280. So this is new for me being in Jersey for a year plus. I just never saw that on Long Island. Rare to see a deer, period, for me, where I was on Long Island. I know that they exist there, whatever, but here in Jersey, it's like they're all over the place. I make they're on my lawn sometimes. I make a turn around the neighborhood. They're always there, whatever it may be. So I saw one running in front of me. Then I was like, uh-oh, another one might be here. Then another one came and he looked at me, but he stopped and moved on, whatever. What I didn't mention was the story about a cat. Like, I don't know what's going on with me here. You get skunk stinking up the house in the wee hours of the morning to the point where I call 911. The guy comes in. He's like, dude, you got a skunk. Like, what are you, new around here? You new to the area? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm from Long Island. It's like, it's a skunk. Go back to bed. I'm like, but it smells. I can't go back to bed. I got a headache. It's piercing my nose. Like, how can meanwhile my wife is passed out? I can't breathe around here. Then I had a snake coiled up near the diving board or in the shed by the pool. I'm like, what? Call animal control. They're like, yeah, what do you want it to do? I'm like, there's a snake in my backyard. Come get it. Like, I got people coming over by the pool. I can't have this thing out of here. What's it going to do? It looked at me. She looked at me like I was crazy, talked to me like I'm crazy. Oh, it's a snake. It goes away. That's what it's doing, sunbathing. All right. Now, I see and this is far less dangerous than those encounters, but I see a little kitten. Now, I'm not a cat guy. I'm a dog guy. It's not that I don't like cats, but I love dogs. And cats, for whatever reason, maybe the allergies. My mother was always allergic to cats, so I was kind of, I guess, as a kid, trained to be, I don't want to say afraid of them, but like, whatever. Cats and I we have a unique relationship. However, I am a person. And in this particular case, 2 days ago, I was driving to the PATH station, which I do every day. Drop my car off there, take the PATH train in the rest of the way. And I see, actually it was on the way home, I see a stray. And it was a gorgeous looking cat. And for me to say that, like, that means it's a nice looking cat. Because usually you'd think, like, a stray out there in the parking lot in Harrison by the PATH, like, ugh, this cat's probably got hours to survive. But this cat looked like it walked right out of somebody's doorstep and somehow found itself in the parking lot at the PATH station. So, and I was walking with one of my friends. He'll remain nameless because, I mean, what I'm about to tell you is not a good indictment of him. He hates cats and wanted no part of it. And I'm like, well, I don't really like cats either, but we shouldn't we do something? This thing's out here in the parking lot. There's hundreds of cars around. Like, it's going to be raining all day tomorrow. It's late. It's dark out. And he's like, nah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, well, I didn't know what to do. I got a dog at home, not to mention my wife, who probably wouldn't love the idea of me bringing a stray cat home. Also, I'm in the Cadillac. What am I going to do? Put the cat in the trunk and have the thing go to town in there, or even put him in the back? Like, I don't know how to handle it. So I left him. But I was wearing guilt that night. for a while until I started watching whatever game was on. Then I moved on. Then the next day, on the way in, I see the cat again. Gray, black stripe. And I get a better look at him because it's lighter. It's in the day, and I'm walking in to go take the path this time as opposed to walking home at night. And he was in a different spot, but I could tell that it looked maybe even more like a kitten. A little kitten. Beautiful kitten. Gray, black stripes. And I'm like, God. And he's looking at me. Like, you know how, and I'm telling you, he was looking at me. Maybe he was a fan of Baseball Night in New York. I don't know. Maybe he's one of those guys on social media. You know, those cats with those little paws, what they could do. Anyway, he looked at me and as if to say, like, bro, I saw you last night. You left me here. I survived. What about now? But I was going into work. Nothing I could do. And again, I felt guilt. Came into work, And then as I went home yesterday, and I was telling people about this that I worked with, they gave me a can of cat food in case you see him. Hey, here's what you do. Give him the food. Let him come over to you. Maybe call somebody. Get him taken out. And he wasn't there. And now, unfortunately, I have to live with the guilt of, I don't know what happened to this cat. I mean, the morning show talking about cuckoo birds, whatever. But with me, I felt bad for this cat. He's a house pet. Rami, would you have handled that any differently than I did?
You sound like Steve Carell from Evan Almighty.
Why, he did this?
Have you ever seen Evan Almighty?
I think
it's like modern day, like Noah and the Ark story.
I'm not into
Steve
the
Carell.
religious stuff myself. But okay, yeah.
It's a comedy. It's funny. I think it's kind of making fun of that stuff. But it's very funny, and he has the animals following him around because God wants him to build an ark.
Yeah,
and wherever he goes,
I have seen that. Yes, okay.
It's hilarious. And he's like working. He's a politician, and there's just animals gathering outside wherever he goes, following him around. That's what you sound like.
Sal Almighty.
Yes,
I mean, what's going on here?
Almighty.
Snakes, skunks, deer, kittens. What the hell's going on here? My dog can't leave me alone. All right, but anyway, so I do feel guilt, and I'm trying to get over it, and maybe that's why this is therapy. I know it's therapy for you as well, venting about your sports team. For me, it's therapy as well. I'm trying to just talk to you guys and have me feel better. Would you have done anything differently, Rami? What am I supposed to do in that spot? Do you call somebody?
I don't make eye contact with the humans out here.
Right.
Forget about animals.
But cats are different. No, humans. I mean, come on. Now, I wouldn't do that. Tove, what would you have done in this spot?
Was there a collar on the cat?
Somebody else asked me that. I don't know. And the fact that I don't know.
You would have noticed it if there was.
Agreed. Exactly.
I will tell you, near me, there are a lot of feral cats. They can fend for themselves. They're okay. You shouldn't feel guilty.
But it looked like it didn't look like it was out there starving. You know what I'm saying?
Did it move away from you as you got closer?
No.
It let you go right next to it?
Yeah, I didn't try to go right next to it because I don't know what's up. I'm feeling him out. He's feeling me out. But the initial night was it looked like he almost wanted to come up, and I was kind of standoffish. I'm just like, oh, no, you go your separate ways, little buddy, and I'll go mine. And then the next morning, again, it was a little closer encounter, but it was, again, he was almost looking to me as if, come to me or show me that you want me to come to you, and I will. And again, I just blew past him.
If you get close and it doesn't move away, being scared of you, call a shelter to see if they can help.
All right, but then somebody told me that maybe if you get in the wrong hands, then they put him down anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. All right, but so I shouldn't be guilty? Is that what we're saying here?
Correct.
I don't think so either. And maybe that's the cat. If you got that close, maybe that's why you're sick.
But I could have saved the life. Cats
have 9 lives, so...
Yeah. Well,
to go.
Let's hope this one had that. If I see him again, I'm taking him home. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Andrew calling from Bloomfield. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm just calling regarding the Giants. One of the topics is, them closing out the fourth quarter, week 2, week 7 against Dallas and the Denver Broncos. Especially with the Denver Broncos, you're up 26-8. 5-6 minutes to play, and you're letting up 33 points in the fourth quarter. You can't be doing that, especially with Dallas as well. The game went into OT. And it also plays in with the defense. All the defense has to do is just get a stop. And every time the Giants, the defense comes out to play, they're not doing anything.
Andrew, have you seen the pictures of Sydney Sweeney in that see-through dress at all?
No, I have not.
Dude, I'm sorry. I know you're talking about the Giants defense and all that stuff, but I was just scrolling here on Instagram. My bad, but good God, you got to check those out. Anyway, they have not been able to close out those games at all. Isn't that a frustrating part? Whose fault is that? You guys could blame the defensive coordinator. To me, that's on the head coach. When it happens repeatedly, that's on the head coach.
Yeah, and I'm always saying the same thing. It's always coming down to that. We can't get a stop. we can't stop the offense. Like it's always.
And it's a team, Andrew, and thank you for the call. We appreciate you checking in. Thanks for having some fun with us. It's a team that was built to win with their defense now. That's my issue. I mean, that's one of my issues. Now, again, there are 9 games to go. And if they clean this thing up, if they clean that up, they will win some games here. Potentially 5, maybe 6. I mean, 6, again, is that's pushing it. But I'm not going to try to lower the expectations. I think 5-4 out of the final 9 games, considering all that's gone on, meaning the injuries, the schedule, everything. Rookie quarterback, head coach that's on the hot seat, feeling the pressure. 5-4, to me, would be a strong finish. And one that I would say, okay, well, as Jackson Dart as starter, that would make them 7. They'd have 7 wins there down the stretch with Jackson Dart. What are they right now with him? 2-3. So they would be 7-7 with Jackson Dart. Still not great, but considering everything, I would take that. Right now they're with Dart. I think they're 2-3, if not mistaken. Anyway, you get the point. It's not like I'm having unrealistic expectations. Got to start winning some football games here. John is calling from Bridgewater. What's up, John?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to say that I think I really would like to see Brian Daboll succeed. I think going along with what you said, I think if they can finish 5-4, that would be a strong case for him to, have consideration to come back. But if it goes the other way, I don't know. There's been some highs and there's been some real lows this season.
Yeah, and that's why we got to wait until the season is over, no?
Yeah, I think we do. And, if he can do that, if he can pull, get a strong finish, then I think you have to think about it.
Correct. But the evidence now, John, and thank you for the call, the evidence now is piled against him. That's why, to me, it's going to have to take a 6-3, 5-4 type finish, not just the record-wise, but you want to see how they look, to justify retaining Shane and Daboll. That's the point. The evidence so far, and that's been the majority, 9 weeks is not the majority of the evidence when you're talking about 4 years. The majority of the evidence is stockpiled against him. Jackson Dart, though, is a huge thing in their favor, which can level it out a little bit. Will the final 9 games be enough success to justify retaining those 2? That, to me, is where we're at as far as evaluating the New York Football Giants. 888-808-109. Nick Costos, when we come back. Hey, you've heard BT and I talk about it. We've got our Cadillacs, and we love them. 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for the performance. Others drive them for the range. And some, they drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion, and whatever the reason is, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. You got the Escalade IQ. That's what BT's been driving around. He loves it. All the gadgets that thing has. The Vistic, the Optic, that's what I have, and I had the Lyric a year ago, and I love it. Plug it in, let it charge, take it out the next day. Don't even have to go to the gas station. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
It's Keith McPherson at night on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Taking a lot of concepts from Ole Miss and implemented them into this offense. Hell, you got to give Jackson Dart even more credit because he's doing it without Malik Neighbors, their #1 offensive weapon.
Stream Keith McPherson live or on demand with the Odyssey app and podcast the show wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Old Trapper, what's your beef? Well, there goes one of Penn State's top coaching options. Matt Rule's off the board. Nebraska just locked him up through 2032, and of course, there's a massive buyout. The Penn State alum was seen as a natural fit when that job opened, but this deal shuts that door fast. Rule staying in Lincoln, and for Penn State, the coaching carousel just got a little smaller. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costos Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action to get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's John Gallucci Jr., President and CEO at JAG Physical Therapy, and I'm so excited to share with you that October is National Physical Therapy Month. Physical therapists throughout the country are helping people move each and every day. Physical therapists are here to help you stay balanced, strong, keep movement going, and keeping you healthy and doing the activities of life you enjoy. Do you have back pain? Do you have knee pain? These simple injuries can all be prevented if you visit your physical therapist before the injury. JAG Physical Therapy has state-of-the-art facilities where our physical therapists have top equipment to help you recover from your injury or illness as quick as possible and ready to go back into the game of life.
JAG is the only outpatient physical therapy and occupational therapy provider that serves the 5 boroughs, Long Island, Rockland, Westchester, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Schedule your visit today at jagpt.com. That's JAGPT.com.
Get back the life you love at JAG Physical Therapy.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-455-9311. 800-455-9311. Again, that's 800-455-9311.
At Jake's 58 Casino Hotel this November, it's your chance to gobble up the green and feast on your share of $55,000 cash. Earn entries all month long and join us on Friday, November 28th from 4 to 6 p.m. 2 winners will be drawn every hour to win up to $10,000 cash. Then at 7 p.m., one lucky winner will take home a grand prize of $20,000 cash at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
This is Nick Costos, host of You Better You Bet and Odyssey Sports Betting Insider. Insider calls are presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Check the latest lines on the BetMGM app. Catch You Better You Bet weekdays 3 to 7 Eastern and You Better You Bet countdown to kickoff Sundays 11 Eastern time, 11 to 1 Eastern time, leading up right to kickoff on the BetMGM network on the Odyssey app. Also, my favorite show on The Fan, Sunday mornings 8 a.m. Get you caught up on everything you need to know right up in real time. He is Nick Costos. What's up, Nick?
What's going on, my friend? Happy Halloween. And as a lifelong wrestling fan, I did appreciate the Nickelback song coming back from break. That was Raw's theme song for like 5 years. I absolutely love that. Burn It to the Ground. Actually a good Nickelback song.
You know, I love when you do your show when you're referencing all these little things, wrestling things, the songs, whatever it may be. One of my favorites, and I was saying it earlier, Mac Jones.
Like, it's funny, like Thursday Night Football when he had that great game against the Rams earlier in the year, like they did. Everyone's like, oh, how funny is that? I've been doing the Mac Jones bit, which is Mike Jones, obviously the Houston rapper. I've been doing that bit for like basically since he was drafted, yeah. And his cell phone number, of course, 281-330-8004. And if you get that, you are a real one.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so are we looking at – now, that's the problem with having you on Friday at 12:40, obviously, or even us giving our picks before 2 o'clock. We know information's changing Friday, certainly Saturday, even Sunday morning when you're on at times. But right now, what are we looking at health-wise from a 49ers perspective?
Yeah, so San Francisco, I think that they're going to get, at the very least, Yetur Gross-Matos back, who is one of their pass rushers. And he's important because Nick Bosa's out for the season, and Bryce Huff, their lead pass rusher, is looking like he's going to miss this game as well. No practice for him the first couple days of the week. But Gross-Matos being back does help a Niners defensive line. Absolutely toothless last week. Couldn't even penetrate a terrible Texans offensive line. Now, as far as the quarterbacks go, probably should have started there, but I don't think Brock Purdy's going to play in the game. He's been limited in practice the last couple days. My guess is that Mac Jones, who? Mac Jones will be the Niners quarterback. I don't think that's a surprise to people. My guess is that Purdy will be the backup. I think his turf toe is progressing. My guess is he's back next week for San Francisco. But I do think we'll see Mac Jones start in this game for the Niners. Now, Sal, it's also like the Giants injury stuff that really matters here because, Brian Dable was just addressing.
What about Pearsall? And I care about that because of fantasy, but also he's a top receiver when he's healthy. He's out as well, or what?
Let's see. I have the Niners injury report here. I think he's going to be out. We don't have a Friday injury report yet. Let's see what the Thursday injury report has. Here we go. Ricky Pearsall hasn't practiced. Didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday this week.
So he's
trending towards missing the game. Okay. But look, like Kendrick Bourne's been a really nice fill-in. Kittle's healthy, the other tight ends. So the Niners can definitely hit this Giants secondary, and that's where we go next, right? Where we are expecting Cordell Flott to miss this game. Brian Dable all but said that about a half an hour ago in real time. We'll see about Paulson Adebo. We think Javon Holland's going to be back. Art Green's probably going to miss this game. So this is like Niners, no defensive front. Giants, no secondary, it looks like in this game, Sal. And I like the over as a result coming up on Sunday. Now, it's 48.5. It's been bet up quite a bit. I actually think that there's still room for this to go. The Niners are not going to be able to get a pass rush. Their pass rush is terrible without Bosa. Many of the good players on their defense are hurt, including all-world linebacker Fred Warner. And on the flip side, like Mac Jones might not be as good as Brock Purdy, but with all the injuries in this Giants secondary, I think they're going to have success throwing the ball here as well. I wanted to bet the Giants earlier in the week before all these secondary injuries for Big Blue. I will probably just end up betting the over coming up on Sunday with San Fran and the Giants.
Do you think this is a winnable game, though, for the Giants? All right, forget about the sports betting analytics for a second and put on your Giants fan hat here. I'm saying, Nick, and I've been doing the show for almost 3 hours here, and the theme is that, hey, time to start winning some freaking games here. Like, the Niners are banged up themselves. I understand where the Giants are at, but this, to me, should be a winnable game. Without Scadaboo, without Neighbors, still. I mean, Jackson Dart has shown enough the way it can move the football. You just mentioned all the stuff with the 49ers. Do you view this as we should look at the Giants as this is a game that they should win with Brian Dable here having Jackson Dart as his quarterback?
I think could and should are two entirely different things with two entirely different meanings. Could they win the game? Yeah. And just like from the betting perspective, they're 2.5-point home underdogs. So, of course they can win the game. Any team can win any game. The Giants, do seem like fairly likely to win this game with the betting market being what it is, not over 50%, but not that far off from it. But look, you know my opinion on this. I think I've been proven to be right. Like, the Giants are losers right now. And I think, Dable might not be a loser in his personal life, but as far as being like the coach of the Giants, like they're a losing team under Brian Dable and Joe Shane, and the Niners largely are winners under Kyle Shanahan. So when it comes down to crunch time, and that's not an indictment of Jackson Dart, I've really liked what I've seen from Jackson Dart, but when it comes down to crunch time, like who do you trust? Like the Niners or the Giants? To me, it's San Francisco. Now again, Sal, I wanted to bet the Giants, but if they're going to be down all these corners, like I don't think I can justify that. Not with Kyle Shanahan calling plays. He's going to target the right members of the Giants defense, and I think the Niners will put up a bunch of points.
All right, couple more with the Giants before we move around here the league a little bit. Is there anything that you need to see in these final 9 games from the Shane Dable regime to warrant bringing them back?
Yeah, when? Win some games. I don't want to hear anything else from anybody. This is not year 2. We're not even in year 3 right now. This is year 4. They suck. This doesn't happen with other teams where you just suck for 3 years straight and keep your job. And you regress dramatically after year 1. I don't want to hear anything else. The great Jerry Eisenberg book in 1989 that followed Bill Parcells and the 89 Giants, there's no medals for trying. I don't care that they were up in the fourth quarter against the Denver Broncos. I don't care that they turned the ball over 5 straight possessions against the Saints and should have won that game. None of it matters. I don't care about the missed OPI last week with Slayton. I don't care about the bad call on the fumble and the tush push with Kayvon Thibodeau. Win the damn game. Win some games. Enough's enough here. It's year 4. And I don't think it's going to happen. And I think what's going to happen, because this is a bad organization, and this is what bad organizations do. This is what teams like the Titans do, what teams like the Bears do. Because what I think is very likely, look at the schedule. Tell me how they're winning games. Next year, Jackson Dart, entering year 2, will have a head coach and a general manager that didn't draft him. That's what we're staring down the barrel of. That's why John Mara should have made the move to get rid of Dable and Shane after last year's disaster. But here they are, and I think that's what we're going to see at the end of the year, and Giants fans should get used to it. You may not like it. Accept reality. Sorry.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We're talking with Nick Costos. Last one on the Giants. Why do you think the defense has been so disappointing this year?
I think Shane Bowen is absolutely terrible. He's terrible. Dexter Lawrence has faded, despite what he may say about what Carl Banks said about him. He has not been as good. That is kind of a fact. You'd like to see more from Abdul Carter. I watched him in college, and I was like, he's a stud, man, for Penn State. Pops off the TV when you're watching him. You'd like to see a little more from him. I think by and large, a lot of the members of the defense are disappointing, right? I don't know if it's just one thing. I think the coordinator stinks. I think that there are talented players on the roster that are not forming a hive mind, and that's really what you need from a defense here. They can't stop the run. Lawrence has faded. I think Carter needs to give you more. I don't think the linebackers are very good. The secondary hasn't been healthy. It's certainly not going to be healthy this week, and I think that's the makings of a bad football team and a bad side of the ball, Sal, for the New York Football Giants.
Jets obviously off. They have a bye, but I do want to give you credit because you correctly predicted that they were going to win that football game, not only with us, but you did it on Sunday morning as well. You're encouraged a little bit about maybe their future after that one, or that's just more about the Bengals stinking?
Yeah, I think it's way more about the Bengals, and I'm not trying to be a hater. The Jets can certainly turn it around, and look, it was awesome last week, and the Nick Mangold passing away stops you in your tracks as a human being. We don't have to get down that road. Obviously, rest in peace to him, and thoughts and prayers to his family and all of his loved ones. But the Jets are able to get that win, and you feel really good, and you feel good for Justin Fields, even if you acknowledge he's not a great quarterback. On a human level, that was really great that was able to happen last week. But that's the Bengals defense, which is the worst defense in the league. It actually is. It's the worst defense in the league. Now, that doesn't mean, Sal, that the Jets will only have one win this season. They could win a couple more games. They're just not good. The quarterback's not good. The weapons on offense aren't good. I think the defense has obviously been a big disappointment. We'll see what it looks like coming out of the bye. I would not say I am encouraged right now, even with the Jets winning that game last week in Cincinnati.
All right, let's get into some real football here. Chiefs, Bills, hard to get any bigger than that. I know where you stand on this game. Just give us your updated feel ahead of this one on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I love the Kansas City Chiefs in the game. I think the Chiefs are the best team in the league. Buffalo obviously has an alien quarterback in Josh Allen. I do not like this Bills defense, and the best player on their defense, Ed Oliver, tore his biceps. He is out indefinitely. And, it's October still, but I'll use the Thanksgiving line here. Mahomes is going to slice and dice him like a Thanksgiving turkey. He just is. All of his weapons are healthy. I don't see how the Chiefs aren't scoring a lot in this game. And look, is it possible Josh Allen puts on the Superman cape and scores 35 and they're able to outlast Kansas City? Of course it could happen. I just think the Chiefs on balance are so much better than the Bills, and Mahomes is better than Josh Allen. People that think otherwise are deluded. If you think Mahomes is not the best quarterback, he is. The Chiefs are better than the Bills. I like Kansas City to go into Buffalo and win the game and cover the spread.
Nothing about Buffalo's performance last week against Carolina would be encouraging?
Well, to be fair, Like, I liked Carolina to cover the spread. I was way wrong on that game. Way wrong. The Bills killed them. Like, great rushing performance by Buffalo. And the run game is very good. Look, they would have won the game anyway. Andy Dalton literally, like, handed the football to them on a silver platter a couple times. Now, Andy Dalton's bad, and maybe someone could say, well, like, you should have thought about that before you bet Carolina. You're right. Like, I have nothing to say about that. But I don't know if slamming the Carolina Panthers with Andy Dalton starting at quarterback means you're ready for prime time to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll take Kansas City on Sunday.
Yeah, they had to do that bare minimum to even get back in the conversation. All right, another game I'm fascinated by this weekend, Colts-Steelers. Like, at some point, I just got to believe the Colts are what they are. I still can't get over that they have Daniel Jones, and I just don't trust them. This, to me, even though the Steelers' defense hasn't been good, on the road in Pittsburgh, Steelers coming off a loss. How do you view that game, Colts and Steelers?
So I will be a little judicious with how I say this here and my betting thoughts on the game. So the thing that I am most confident in, Sal, on Sunday in this game is that Indy's going to score. Like, Pittsburgh's defense, it's like Buffalo. Like, it's just bad. Like, it's bad. And I don't think they can fix it unless you get all new players or, like, they all go in the time machine and they get younger. They're old, they're expensive, and they're not very good. And through 8 games, and that does not mean it's going to turn out this way through a 17-game regular season, there's a lot of time left to go. This is a historically great offense. Now, again, it doesn't mean that they're going to be there when the season's over, and we're going to say that about them. But right now, historically great offense versus a defense that made the Jets' offense in Week 1 look like the 2007 Patriots. Like, how do we think this is going to go here? Indy's going to score. Now, I do think there's a path for Pittsburgh to win this game or cover the spread. It's 34-31, like they win, 35-31, 31-28. The Steelers are going to have to score to stay in this game. So I think if anyone out there listening or watching, if you like the Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe that it correlates to the over in the game. I like the over anyway because I think the Colts are going to score a ton. So make me pick the game, Sal. I'll lay the 3 with Indianapolis. I'll take the over, but I do acknowledge the Steelers could stay in this game or win it. But if they do, they're going to have to score 30-plus to make it happen.
All right, a couple more quickies here. How about my Broncos? Impressive win against the Cowboys. What about this matchup in Houston taking on the Texans?
Yeah, I like your – they really should be our Broncos. I bet them,
but we're going head-to-head now in our bet. You got the Chiefs, I got the Broncos.
Yeah, you'll lose that bet. That's okay. But I did bet you will. It's not a joke. I bet Denver before the year playoffs over the win total. They're really like our Broncos. Just worth noting, a bunch of the people that I talk to and really respect, professional bettors, like Houston in this game. Like, I do just want to offer that context. And one of the reasons why, Patrick Surtain Jr., the reigning defensive player of the year, Denver star corner, is out 4 to 6 weeks. So he's obviously not playing in this game.
I didn't see that. That sucks.
Yeah, it's not.
That means he's going to miss the Chiefs game as well.
Yeah, that's in
3 weeks. I still got a game advantage. All right, we'll see. Okay, good.
The reason why I like Denver in this game, even with Surtain being out. Now, I said last week I liked Houston against San Francisco. And a lot of people are like, how could you like that? Houston's offensive line is terrible. And it's what we just talked about with the Niners and the Giants. San Francisco has no pass rush right now. So C.J. Stroud's able to sit back there. He goes 30 for 39 last week. Looks like he did his rookie year and absolutely dominates that game. Now, that's against a team with no pass rush. Now what happens when here's the Denver Broncos front, even without Patrick Surtain? The Texans, along with the Raiders, those are the 2 worst offensive lines in the league, going up against Denver's pass rush. I think Denver might win this game going away. And again, I just want to say this, like, all the people I talk to like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs also. That doesn't mean they're going to win, but I like when people I respect kind of have the same opinion as me. I feel like I'm on an island with this one. I like the Broncos. Others like Houston. I think Denver wins this one by 7-10.
All right, 2 more real quick here. Answer them as short as you like. Are the Commanders done?
Yes.
Are the Ravens done?
No.
Okay, give me a little bit more on the Ravens.
Okay, so Baltimore wins last night, 3-5. Now, they won 28-6. If you watch the game, which I did, like, Miami just can't get out of its own way. I'm not saying the Dolphins should have won, but the final score should have been way closer. But the encouraging thing about the Ravens, in addition, obviously, to Lamar Jackson like playing and looking really good, especially in the second half, and I thought they did a really nice job on the broadcast last night of highlighting this. So about a month ago, the Ravens made what I considered to be, and I'll be quick with this, a pretty puzzling trade, trading former first-round second-round pass rusher Odafe Owe to the Chargers for safety Alohi Gilman. It's like, why the hell would they make this move? Well, you saw last night with the Ravens defense fully healthy, they can play Gilman back along with the rookie Malachi Starks, and Kyle Hamilton, who is one of the best safeties in the league, plays up at the line of scrimmage and creates so much havoc. So the Ravens defense looked way better last night than it has basically at any point this season. And on offense, you saw Isaiah Likely, who has not been healthy this year with Lamar Jackson. He's healthy now with Mark Andrews. All the players on offense are healthy. The offense looked really dynamic. The Ravens' schedule is easy. They are only slated to be Sal underdogs once more this season, and that's Week 17 at Green Bay. They get the Bengals twice. They get the Steelers twice. Pittsburgh's going to be 4-4 after this week. I think the Ravens are going to win the AFC North and go to the postseason.
Wow, love it. I'm glad I asked. All right, Nick, excellent job, man. You're the best. We appreciate it.
Wishing everybody minimal sweats. Minimal sweats. If I get this right, hold on. It's my catchphrase. It's like The Rock messing up his. Minimal sweats, winning bets, the absolute very best of luck. Happy Halloween, my friends.
We'll be listening to you Sunday morning, as always. That was the host of You Better You Bet and Odyssey Sports Betting Insider, Nick Costos. Insider Calls presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary for all of your betting and sports talk needs. Check out the BetMGM network on the Odyssey app. We'll come back with more of your calls, 888-808-1019. Perfect Parlay Pick segment later on as well. Right now, let's get you updated. Here's Andrew Bogut.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1:02. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com, and by Flushing Bank. The World Series can be won tonight. The Blue Jays need one more victory against the Dodgers for their first title since 1993. Game 6 in Toronto just after 8. Kevin Gausman and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, your pitching matchup. That Dodger righty back-to-back complete games. A lot of NFL news today. The Dolphins parting ways with longtime GM Chris Greer the morning after, dropping to 2-7 with a 28-6 home loss to the Ravens. Head coach Mike McDaniel reportedly safe for the rest of this season. Jaden Daniels will be back from his hamstring injury Sunday against Seattle, and the Giants do not expect Cordell Flott to be out of concussion protocols in time to face the Niners Sunday. Fellow corner Paulson Adebo missing another practice today with his knee issue. And the Knicks in Chicago at 8 tonight. Fan weather is sponsored by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Take on every road in a Lexus from Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Discover the breakthrough Lexus TX with 3 rows of comfort, generous storage, and refined style. Built for families like yours only at Ray Cattina Lexus. It's 54 degrees, a little sun in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bode.
Kicked on its way, end over end, and good!
The Scarlet Knights got a huge Big Ten win last week against the Boilermakers.
And the Scarlet Knights win it!
Next up, the Fighting Illini, kicking off at 2:30 tomorrow. The home of Rutgers football, powered by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together. And The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Odyssey app.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit flushingbank.com today. Member FDIC.
Sitting in the driver's seat of the Nissan Kicks is like the best seat in the house. You're in the action. And with the Nissan Kicks all-wheel drive, you can go find the best views. And with the 10-speaker Bose Personal Plus audio system, you can hear everything. Your new wheels await. Reimagine your ride with the reimagined Nissan Kicks. Now get the 2025 Nissan Kicks starting at just $21,830. Shop your local Nissan store or nissanusa.com. Starting MSRP at $21,830 for base model. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP. MSRP excludes up to $1,495 destination and handling charges, tax, title, and license. Dealer sets actual price.
Get Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
The BT and Sal Show on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. Back to your calls in just a second here. 888-808-1019. BT out sick today. Hoff is out sick as well. He was out sick yesterday. And then I just went out in the newsroom. Hey, look, you're sick. Can't come in. Like, I get it. I'm going to go nuts. I don't want to start any issues with anybody. I mean, I've been sick, but I've been here all week, whatever. Maybe it is what it is. And I go out in the newsroom, and I see Rosie's here today. And I'm like, well, what are you doing here? Where's Marash? Loogie's out there. Where's Marash? And I guess Evan, Tiki, and Marash, because it's Halloween, are working from home. I could just imagine back to the days of Francesa. And when I was on his show, man, you weren't here during the fall book. It was an issue. Rightfully so. It's inherent in me. I will tell you this. I might have to start readjusting some things here. Like my wife's 50th birthday, for example. Okay, she's probably going to hate that I say that, but that's just the reality of it. It's coming up. It's on a football Friday. And you know, I've been telling her for months, like, I'm sorry, it's December. It's a football Friday. Like, I can't miss that. I don't care what birthday it is. It's a football show. Like, I got it. Football Friday, perfect parlay pick segment. Now, I mean, I guess the rules have been lightened a little bit. What's the word, Dove? The thing has been loosened a little bit. What am I looking for? Not the rope has been loosened. I don't know. Whatever.
People are treating this place the way you treated Home Depot.
Yeah, even at Home Depot in the beginning, I was. I'm a rule follower. You tell me to be here, I'm going to be here. I'm not trying to cut any corners. Oh my God.
Rosie says the screws have been loosened.
There you go. Screws have been loosened. That's one. Not bad. But, like, am I the idiot because I'm telling my wife on her 50th birthday, I'm sorry, I can't take a day off. I have days to take, but it's a football Friday in the fall. Like, I can't be missing that. I'm going to be out because of the holidays anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Dove respects your work ethic.
It's a tricky thing because, you know, people be sensitive to certain things, but.
She wants the whole day.
Well, what do you mean the whole day? I mean, it is a big deal.
I understand.
The big 5-0.
But the show ends 2 o'clock.
Oh, that's what I said. She's fine with it. I'm just saying, like, I told her, my wife, I told her, I can't take off on your birthday because I am prioritizing a football Friday for work.
Good for you.
Because I believe that is important. But when I walk out in the newsroom and I'm basically the only guy standing, I mean, is it that important? I mean, hard to think that. Like, I'm the one who's, head down, let's go. I'm here. I'm just saying that if the screws have been loosened a little bit, and then I'm not just taking a rando day off. I'm talking about a significant event like that. Here's the sad part, and this is what I'm really mad at. I'm really mad at myself. Because in the end, who's the sucker? I'm the sucker. Because I can't take, like, even if I could, even if the bosses come to me and they go, Sal, come on, dude. Of course, this isn't 20 years ago. Chernoff's not here anymore. Mike's not here. Don't worry about it. You can take off any day you want.
To be fair, in Mike's day, you couldn't work from home. Either you were here or you weren't here.
All right.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be here or having the whole day at home?
I mean, you're missing the point, Toph. You're missing the point.
So you can answer it.
You're missing the point. I'm just, My point is why I'm mad at myself is because even if they said to me, and they'd be like, oh, you need off for your wife's birthday? Dude, don't come in. We'll figure it out. BT's got you. Don't worry about it. Football Friday. We'll send in your picks, whatever it may be. I can't. It's not in me. I can't miss it.
You used to run away from Home Depot to get here. Now, if you're off, you might run away to Home Depot.
Right. Exactly right. Depending on the day, yeah. All right, BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Perfect parlay pick segment coming up in 10 minutes. Let's see what we got here. Steve is on Long Island. Steve?
Hey, Sal.
How are you,
Thanks for taking the call. Love your show.
Thank you.
Sal, I could sum this up in 2 words. As far as a disgruntled Giant fan, fire Dable. I look at it this way, and I have a, if not a theory, a suspicion, and you tell me if you agree or not. If the guy doesn't know what the hell play to call, get rid of him. I mean, everybody knew, people will say that Monday morning quarterbacking, well, if you only made the extra couple of inches, you would have made a first down. If they didn't drop the ball, yeah. But one thing that's no if, You got to make the right call. That call was so ridiculous to have him throw instead of run, which would have killed the last time out in the Denver game and virtually win the ball game. He calls the wrong one. Just like, I got a theory, and my suspicion anyway. The players play the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you suppose, like a lot of times, they want to be essential, just like Pete Carroll did? Instead of handing it to Lynch twice, but you have timeout in your back pocket and 20 seconds left, and oh, by the way, the Seagulls win the Super Bowl. No, let's give Belichick and the Patriots another Super Bowl. Let's call a pass play, which ruined the whole thing for them. Same thing. They want to be essential. Rather than calling an ordinary play, they call an extraordinary play because they want to be, look, aren't I a genius? Look what I call.
My issue there, I'm curious to see what you think of this, Steve, and we had this debate at the time, but my issue there was that either be aggressive or either try to run out the clock. They run, pass 2 times in a row, to me, just made no sense. I would have preferred they be aggressive. You're saying run the clock out there? Fine, if you're going to do that, then run the clock out 3 straight times. I would have, though, been more aggressive earlier on in those downs.
Well, I mean, what was wrong? Look, there was about 4 minutes and change left. You have one timeout. And to be honest with you, Peyton might not have even taken a timeout like we think because he might have thought, gee, I need 2 scores. If I don't have a timeout in my back pocket, I might not get the field goal unit on.
He did take those 2 early. You're talking about 5 minutes to go, Giants trying to run off the clock. You can't do it with 5 minutes. Peyton smartly takes the 2 timeouts. And at that point, like, even if the Giants run the football, there's still plenty of time left, even with just 1 timeout for Denver.
Well, thing is, let's argue it out.
Yeah.
Are you taking on that third? If a run was scored, forget about a run. You're risky. Oh, anything's risky. You might run at the ball and drop the ball.
Right.
Smother the ball. Go down on the knee. So smother the ball. Does Peyton call the timeout or not?
Well,
in your opinion,
I would say probably not there. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, to me, it's not enough of running the clock out to say you were going to get the win. Now, it favors your argument because the result was not only a pass, it was a pass that turned into an immediate score.
Right. That's the problem. Why risk that? Take a knee. Now, they're either going to call the timeout or not. I'll argue both ways. If they call the timeout, now they got to get 10 points with 4 and change left, and you're getting the ball back unless the onside kick is successful, which very rarely it is. And now you're going to run 3, even a 4th play. You'll take it down to the last second and call timeout, and it seems like there'd be hardly enough time for them to get in field goal range.
It would have been significantly more difficult. But, Steve, how about the other side to it? And thank you for the call. Good back and forth there. That was fun. Get back to us. The other side of it, which was what I was saying that Monday afterward, why not just try to throw the football on the first down? Like, when you've got 5 minutes to go in the game and you have a big lead and the opponent or the opposing coach is calling timeouts, why not just say, okay, I'm not going to – you run it on first down, he calls a timeout. You say, all right, we're going to play that game. I'll let him keep his 2 timeouts. I'm going to start throwing the football a little bit. Mix it up. As opposed to predictably running to the line. You're basically just delaying the inevitable to give them the ball. One way or another, they were getting the ball way too quick. And it happened even quicker than you thought because of the interception. Which, by the way, to me is more on the quarterback than it is the play call. My issue with the play call is that first and second down can't just be running into the line. Now I'm going to try to throw it. Like that just, I wanted either one or the other. Come out and have a normal drive or come out and try to play clock, which I thought it was too early for. Either way, still no excuse to lose that game. Daniel is calling from the Upper West Side. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, Sal, how are you?
Not bad.
I heard you beating yourself up over the kitten.
Oh, yes.
I know it's not sports stuff, but my family are cat people. I can probably give you enough feedback to put your mind at rest and not beat yourself up.
Okay, what do you got?
Well,
you think that little kitty's okay?
I'm sure the little kitty's okay for many reasons. One, if he goes to a shelter, they never put a kitten down. Everyone wants kittens. So if he's got a microchip, they'll find the owner. But if he's that friendly that he came over to you, he'll do it with someone else.
Maybe somebody else took him?
Yes.
Well, that was my hope. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I don't really want to pick up that pile of garbage. Not the cat. I'm just talking about in general. And thank you for the call, Daniel. Like, I don't really want to pick up that piece of garbage on the street, but hopefully somebody else will. Oh, I don't really want to help, that person over there. Hopefully somebody else will. You know what I mean? That was this, I kind of want to help the kitten, but I can't. I got enough problems on my own. Maybe somebody else will take on this problem. Do me a solid. So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully. Tony is in Edison. What's up, Tony?
Tony in Edison.
What's up, Tony?
All right, Sal.
Hi.
So, yeah, I got a cat story. I was driving over to Driscoll Bridge probably about 2 weeks ago when I seen a little black kitten sitting on the side of the road on the Driscoll Bridge. So me being the good person that I am, I stop my car and run after it. The cat sees me, starts sprinting away. So now I'm sprinting after a cat on the Driscoll Bridge. I cut it off, get in front of it. Cat bangs a U-turn, starts running the opposite way, still chasing the cat. It starts to climb up the fence as I get close to it.
Uh-oh.
And right when I grabbed it, it's at the top of the fence about to go over.
Oh, now you almost killed the cat, Tony. Sounds like you scared it.
I almost watched it die. I'm thinking to myself, this cat's got to be a Met fan.
What ended up with the cat?
So I ended up bringing it over to a local animal shelter. It was attacking me, running around the back of my car.
See, there you go. See, that's why maybe I did the right thing. How did it look? Did it look pretty and cute?
It was a baby kitten. And I'm thinking, you've driven over the Driscoll Bridge before. The only way it could have gotten there is being dumped out of a window,
Now, why would you run and chase it as opposed to trying to have it come to you?
I'm thinking in my head, driving by 65, I see the cat. If I would have kept going, I would have lived with that for the rest of my life.
Right, but why not get out and have the cat try to come to you as opposed to scaring it away, running it, chasing it down?
Right. I don't know if I misspoke, but I did. I was approaching it, slowly walking.
Okay.
It seen me and ran away.
Well, you're a better man than I am, Tony, and thank you for the call, although you nearly killed the cat. See, I'd rather not risk nearly killing the cat and just not do anything. I have nothing to do with it. I'm almost going to pretend that I didn't see the cat. Like the cat saw me, I saw it. I hope we pretend we didn't see each other. Look, bro, I wish I could help you out. I got stuff to do. You don't believe me, you don't want to come home to my wife anyway. You're better off out here in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Stuff going on at home. Plus, I got a dog. You know what I mean? That's what I said to him mentally. And he looked at me mentally, and I don't know if he was getting what I was putting out there. Because he still looked like he wanted me to pick him up and take him home or somewhere. Or at least feed him. Which I got nothing on me. What do you want, a protein bar? I don't know if he's going to take that. I'm going to try to let it go, though, and move on. Richard is in Manhattan. What's up, Richard?
Sal, you know who Jackson Dart reminds me of?
Who's that?
Old guy. And I'll give you a hint. Ties to the Giant organization. Eli and Peyton know this guy very well, though they never saw the guy play.
Who?
Same exact situation. He wears a similar number. He plays exactly like this guy did 54 years ago. Archie Manning.
Okay.
Exactly.
Maybe you can enlighten me. I don't recall watching Archie Manning play. I'm only 46.
71. Well, you're not old enough. 71. He came in the league. 3 quarterbacks came in. Pastorini, Jim Plunkett.
He could run like Dart?
Yep. Archie was unbelievably athletic.
Really?
Not like the two sons. No.
Yeah, it's surprising because his 2 sons can't move a lick.
Sal, I got one for you for the Yankees.
Yeah.
We hear all the time.
You like my costume today, Richard?
I don't have TV.
Okay,
Sal,
I'm going to explain to you.
I'm a telephone, radio, write letters, newspaper guy.
I get it.
I respect 1960s.
I respect the old school. I am a Yankees member of the Department of Nerds.
And I'm in my glory now. The New York Post has all the statistics for the top rushers, pass receivers, quarterback ratings. I love that stuff.
I just fell asleep when you were explaining those numbers to me. Now go ahead.
I love it. All right, Sal. You hear this all the time, Yankee fans. The mission statement is World Series or bust. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing new. From 1960 to 1964, the Yankees went to 5 World Series.
Richard, you know what time it is? Richard,
3 they lost.
Richard,
you know
I'm sorry, Richard. My thumb hit you by accident there. I didn't mean to do that. You know what time it is? It's 1:20 in the afternoon. That's like a 1:20 in the morning type call, not 1:20 in the afternoon. And I do like you, Richard. You're one of my favorite callers. I can't go over the history of the Yankees here and their World Series and all the numbers and all the stats. Plus, you didn't even acknowledge my costume. DON. Yankees Department of Nerds. Come on. That's the difference. What's that, Rami? That's the difference. The Department of Nerds got to get on it. Back in the 90s, there weren't as many nerds running things. Led to a dynasty. Now the DON is taking the Yankees to a spot where championships don't happen that frequently. 2009. It's a long time ago. Perfect Parlay Pick segment. When we come back, BT and Sal on the Fan.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I think what's happening in New England is legit. I think now they can win the AFC East.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
I'm Michael Jenkins, here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. We're going to college football and taking the Tar Heels plus 2.5 against Syracuse. Nothing scarier than backing Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson for Halloween. Syracuse is 3-5 in the season, but have lost 4 in a row and have failed to score 20 points in any of those 4 games. UNC only has 2 wins on the year, but they're playing much better as of late. We like the Heels to keep it close to take Carolina plus 2.5. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Hey, Tiki here. Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman's Shield Link. With Sloman's Shield Link, transform your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman's Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Now imagine pulling into your driveway, and with one tap, your home welcomes you. Lights on, doors unlocked, only to hear your favorite music. A true smart home isn't just about gadgets. It's about comfort and security. With Sloman's Shield, enjoy a full integration of home security and automation, all at your fingertips. Make your life easier and your home a safer haven. Learn more at SlomanShieldLink.com or call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman's Shield Link.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel's your home for live betting. So even if you missed the start of the game or want to jump in and ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who's going to score next to fourth quarter comebacks. It is all there. Plus, you can even combine live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to roll, now's a perfect time to join because FanDuel's giving new customers $300 back in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/BT to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/BT. We love the app around here. I've been telling you about FanDuel for almost a decade at this point. It is safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid right away. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also the official sports book of us here at WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied. It's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The restaurants, nightlife and shops in La Galleria. And, of course, American touches, like a sports bar and water slides. Bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now, starting from $199, plus kids sale free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo. From Volvo Cars Ramsey. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived. Lease a new 2025 Volvo XC60 B5 Plus all-wheel drive, $497 per month for 36 months. At Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for lease details. MSRP $55,540. VIN S1015920. Loaner vehicle 5,193 miles. $3,700 down payment. Tax title registration extra. Zero security deposit. Ends 10/31/25.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Today's football picks are presented by Cash App. It is week 9 of the Perfect Parlay Pick segment, and really no changing after week 8. Nobody hit a parlay, and the only points that we got were correctly predicting the Eagles would beat the Giants, so just tack on the 5 points. Hoffa's in first by a wide margin, 155 to my 90 in second. BT is in third right now with 40. Now, there are going to be some issues here. We don't have any picks from BT. Hoff did send his in. We have to determine if that's going to count. I mean, if you don't show up for the Perfect Parlay Pick segment, maybe it's just a chance for me to gain ground all by my lonesome. Here we go. I got 3 for you so far. That's what it's going to be, a 3-team parlay. And there's a theme here. Home dogs. All 3. Starting with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Picked against the Colts last week. I took the 14.5. An embarrassing pick. Stupid pick. The Titans are horrible. The Steelers aren't horrible. They don't have a great defense, but I don't believe the Colts offense is going to do what it's been doing at home. I know it did it against the Chargers on the road as well. Colts really haven't beaten anybody impressive. Give me Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin, and the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. They're getting 3.5 points. I mean, good God. What has gone on here? I know Daniel Jones been an MVP. At some point, they'll come back down to earth, even for a game. So that's game number 1 for me. Steelers at home. I'm getting 3.5. I got to like that against the Colts. Game number 2. This is a game of the week. Give me the Buffalo Bills at home over the Chiefs. I know that the Chiefs are the best team in football and everybody loves them, but even the best teams lose a game. And the way the Bills performed against the Panthers, that was encouraging to me. And you can talk about Ed Oliver being out and the key pieces on defense. Sure. But ultimately, I'll take my chances with Josh Allen and the Bills at home against the Chiefs team who is due for a little bit of a letdown. They've been great. They've been dominant. They've righted the ship here over the last several weeks. I think that changes at least for a day. Give me the Bills at home on Sunday plus 2.5. And now we go to MetLife. Give me Big Blue. Yes, I believe in Jackson Dart. I actually, and I hesitate to say this, I actually believe in Brian Dable to a certain extent. And I believe the Giants are going to win this football game and get themselves to 3-6, get back to the winning ways. Niners aren't that good. West Coast to the East Coast, backup quarterback. people dismissing the Giants because of their last two performances, specifically against the Eagles, Scatterboo injury. I think they overcome it all, led by 6 and led by the defense. Give me Big Blue plus 2.5. So we got the Steelers plus 3.5 at home over the Colts, Bills plus 2.5 at home over the Chiefs, and the G-Men plus 2.5 over the 49ers as maybe something positive in the Shane Dable backing in the final 9 weeks of the year. As for the straight-up games, I'm going to pick the Giants. Obviously, I think they're going to win, so we look for 5 points right there. We don't have any picks from BT. Hoff did send in his picks to Rami. I'll have to decide if we want to count them or not. Rami, what did Hoff give you? How many? 4?
He gave me 4, and if you have to be here, I could give you my 3 picks.
No, go ahead, Rami. Give me Hoff's 4 picks.
All right, so Hoff has the Broncos plus 1.5 at the Texans.
Okay.
Which Costos liked also, yes. Steelers, he has them too, plus 3.5 against the Colts.
Okay.
He has the Cowboys at home -2. I think they're at, or -2.5 against the Cardinals.
They're home against the Cardinals,
yes.
yeah.
And then he has the Giants money line.
Wait, so you gave me 3 picks, no? Or
That's
did you give me
4. Broncos, Steelers, Cowboys, and Giants.
So 3 plus the Giants money line, a 3-team parlay for Hoff. All right, we'll have to revisit when everybody gets back next week, and then.
Well, I think for
decipher
the
this.
parlay, he wanted the Giants plus 2.5.
Oh, okay, so then
and
it
then
is for-
also
Okay.
the money line separately.
Just make sure you clarify that, and then we'll go over on Monday when everybody's back and see what goes on there. All right, so that does it for the Perfect Parlay Pick segment, Week 9. Let's get back to the phones. Jay is calling from Stony Brook. What's up, Jay?
What's up, Sal? How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
So, good. So, I love the parlay picks that you guys have. It's the best on the fan by far.
Thank you.
My thing is, you'll list probably about, I'd say, more than half your listeners are big gamblers. So, you're missing half of the weekend on Saturday. So, just throwing this out there, let me know what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You guys each do. So, the NFL picks, everything stays exactly the same.
Yep.
But since your listeners are betting on Saturday, each of you guys do a 4-team parlay for college football. You guys determine what the bonus would be. But what I think would be cool is if one of you guys hit that 4-team parlay, the following week for the NFL picks, you get like a 1-game mulligan. So if you do like a 4-team parlay,
right, and we hit 3 out of 4.
One wrong,
yeah.
Juice it up a little bit.
Now, not a bad idea. And Mike and Chris used to do the college football picks as well. I remember doing that with Mike with the South Special. I love that. I actually do make college picks in a pool. But I do that Friday night when I get home or Saturday morning. Now, why 4 though, Jay? Why would you want 4 college games? Just because, or you'd be okay with 3, or?
3 would be fine. 4, I just think because it's harder to hit the 4, so it's not going to really change your Sunday parlay, perfect parlay picks, because it's not going to happen that often. And it would just give the fans, 4 games to maybe look at from each of you guys' perspective.
Not bad. We appreciate that, Jay. Thank you for the call and thank you for the idea. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm sure BT be on for it as well, especially now where he's watching the college football so much so because of the Jets quarterback situation. So maybe we could get a Hoff. I don't know if he's going to want to partake in that. I mean, what's the difference, Hoff? Anyways, he's just going to look at a team and pick it for whatever reason that he does. And by the way, you see that has success. He's won the first edition of the Perfect Parlay Pick segment in its inaugural season, and now he's leading by a lot so far through the first 8 weeks here. Not a bad idea. Could be another segment to do on Friday, a little college football picks. I'm okay with it. The pick segments over years, Mike and Chris mastered that. Like, nobody will ever do it better than they do. And I feel like it just got to a point where it was watered down so much so. That's why I came up with the idea for the perfect parlay pick segment. At least change it up a little bit. Have a scoring system, have the parlays, go head to head, put something on the line, just to try to evolve it, because those two guys did it as good as anybody else will ever do it, and it just can't be done. Hitting the music for this. I mean, you could do it again, but it's just not the same. Now everybody does it, which is probably why I got away from the college stuff. Plus, in New York, college is not as big as it is elsewhere, although those guys made it big back then. So we can maybe have some fun with it. Not a bad thought, Jay. We appreciate the insight. 888-808-1019. We'll come back. More of your calls on the other side. BT and Sal on the Fan. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. Whether it's a sports-related injury or something far more complex, Total Ortho has you covered with locations throughout Long Island, Queens, and now West Orange, New Jersey. Don't struggle with pain or injuries and get fast, expert care from the leading orthopedic doctors, including the #1 spine doctor on Long Island. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com and schedule an appointment today. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experts at getting you back to being you.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
That was some shady stuff that went on with Lamar Jackson. He went from full participant on Friday with a 6.5-point spread the entire week as he was expected to play. Then all of a sudden changed on the injury report after it comes out to limited on Friday, then out on Saturday.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The San Antonio Spurs won last night to go 5-0 for the first time in franchise history. There have been some jokes on social media that they should go 82-0 because Victor Wembanyama is that good. It is amazing that the third-year star has achieved something David Robinson and Tim Duncan could not. You get the feeling Wemby setting franchise records and maybe NBA records as well doesn't feel far off. I'm Andrew Perloff.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense at ChefIQ.com. That's ChefIQ.com.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Now, when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide. Is both. Nationwide. Is both. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why our rewards members get free standard shipping on the things they want and need to get the job done every day. Savings for rewards members add up fast, so why wait? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable, it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Call of the day with Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's Call of the Day brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Paul is calling from Buffalo. What's up, Paul?
Details in life are everything, and your costume today is detail-rich and just funny as heck fire, man.
Are you watching on YouTube?
Glasses.
You're watching?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you checking in on YouTube. Yes, I am dressed up. We could get into that in a little bit, but thank you very much, Paul. Appreciate you watching.
And as a Yankee analytics nerd, I have to ask you, should we trade Carlos Rodon?
Trade Carlos Rodon for who? For what? You're not trading Carlos Rodon? And just to be clear, I am not a Yankees analytics department member. If you're checking out on YouTube, and it'll probably be posted on social at some point here soon. I am a member of the Yankees DON, Department of Nerds. As you see here on my pocket, DON, Department of Nerds. I mean, that's what the Yankees have. Why not come up with the Department of Nerds costume today? So glad you enjoyed that. As we get set for Game 6 of the World Series tonight, the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. I am about to take off my costume soon. I can't wait to actually get out of it. It's been uncomfortable. The wig, the uniform pants, just in case because those of you on YouTube probably didn't see this. Look at that. There we go. You see that, Rami? Is that a good look for the YouTube people?
That was a great look for the YouTube people. BT gives them that look every day.
I don't have a cup on. Hopefully that. All right. Anyway, BT and Sal Player to Watch is sponsored by ELEC 825, Building Our Future. Collars & Co., the original dress collar polo. For me, it's very simple this week, actually. One player to watch. I'm going to go Giants, Niners, go to MetLife, and go in the trenches. I'm looking to see 97, and I want to see how Dexter Lawrence responds to the criticism. I don't know if, I'm not going to give Carl Banks credit for motivating him if he does respond, although maybe there is a part that should be. I just hope that maybe the criticism that has been going on consistently from the beginning of the season, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, and I think that some of it is certainly warranted. But I love Dexter Lawrence. I think he's such a great person, and we know he's a great player at his best. I don't know if he's hurt, but I can't ask those things. I'm not there. They don't give us access to that. I'm not going out there. I don't know if he's hurt. I'm going to assume that he's not. Either way, I'm looking at Dexter Lawrence to wreak some havoc and maybe even get a couple of those signature Dexter Lawrence dances out there at MetLife in what I expect to be a Giants victory come Sunday. Let's finish up on the phones here, try to run through as many as we can. Guy is in Millington. What's up, Guy?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, listen, me and my brother's been talking about the Giant game against Philly. And the one thing that we find very disheartening is that there's no mention of this illegal tackle that basically put Scatterboo on the bench, and who knows if he's going to be good enough to come back next year at the beginning of the season. Do you know anything that's going on with, hopefully the penalty from the NFL on Zach Baun?
I don't, but what are you going to do? Like, are you going to be happy if they fine him? Let's say they fine him $500,000. You going to be happy with that?
No. I think he actually should be fined and basically taken out of the NFL for a couple of weeks.
Well, I mean,
it was a disastrous tackle, and it reminded me of the Buddy Ryan days when they used to have bounties on players.
Yeah, I don't. And look, Cam Scadabo is a physical player, so he welcomes the contact. Maybe that ups the game of the defensive players, the defenders. What I was going to say. And thanks for the call, guy. We appreciate you checking in. Now, he's not going to get kicked out of the league, and he's not going to be suspended. And even if he is, it doesn't bring back Cam Scadabo. So I understand your frustration. I understand your anger. If there's a penalty that the NFL feels needs to be handed out, it will be. It still wouldn't make me feel any better about all of us being robbed of watching Scadabo. Like, outside of an injury to Jackson Dart, that's the worst thing possible. I'm watching that game, and I'm like, I went to social media and said, just sports are cruel at that point. Come on, dude. Scadabo, that's the guy that you're going to have get injured at this particular point? And you could see getting banged up for a game or two. You almost expect that with the way that he plays. Losing him for the season now, at the beginning and the height of the Dart Scadabo excitement, fresh off his Nick game and getting pumped up with the Anunoby dunk. Come on, man. Sports are cruel. Mike is in East Rockaway. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how you doing? I want to give you some advice about your backyard.
Okay.
You got snakes and, what'd you say, deer?
Skunk, deer, snakes, beaver.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You go to Ace Hardware or Home Depot and you get something called Critter Ritter. And you sprinkle that around behind your garage. I don't know what your yard looks like. Behind the garage, in the bushes, near the pool, whatever. And it will repel a lot of things. And there's also a special snake thing.
Yes. My exterminator guys, Ghost Pest Control, they told me about that, the snake repellent. So I did get that. It smells awful, but I did get it, put it down, and the smell goes away after a couple of days. Haven't seen anything since, so yes, thank you.
Well, that's what I do. I'm an exterminator.
Oh, there you go. My grandfather was an exterminator, so God bless you there, Mike. We appreciate you checking in. Yeah, I know. My grandfather probably looking down like, dude, you wuss. You're embarrassing my name. It was named after him. What's wrong with you? You're afraid of a little skunk smell? Or a little snake, or garter snake, or a beaver. And then the deer, I'm not really afraid of them, but, I don't want to run into them. I'm afraid of them when they're coming at my car. And then the little kitten, that's a little different, but, all right, we appreciate the insight there. Either way, I didn't have to do this on Long Island growing up. Matt is calling from PA. What's up, Matt?
Hey, Sal. Long-time listener, first-time caller, lifetime Giants fan. I just want to say, I agree that I think, it's probably time for Daboll to go, but I think my reasoning would be maybe a little bit different than what some of the other callers have said, and that is, his failures to put together a competent defensive staff. I get he's the offensive guru, and he's doing great with Dart. The play calling's been significantly better this year, though that's Kafka. But then, if you know that you have a little bit of a blind spot on the defensive side of the ball, then you got to bring somebody in that's going to fill in that gap for you, right? Like, that's leadership. And so that would be my take on why I think he needs to go, right? Like, you look at the simple analytics stuff. Like, why are we playing such a high percentage of man when we're playing Philly? And, we got DBs that can't get their head around. And, they're just getting picked apart. But anyway, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that thing.
Yeah, I think that Daboll is, and thanks for the call, Matt. I think Daboll is the one to blame because he's the one who hired this defensive coordinator. And I'm assuming a big part of why he hired him was because he agreed with his schemes and philosophies. Why else would a head coach who's getting to make that decision hire somebody else? I'm assuming a big part of that, this is not the front office like it is in baseball with the Mets picking Carlos Mendoza's staff. I'm sure Mendoza has some say, but clearly not the say overall. It's David Stearns who's putting together the staff. Hey, how do you, then you interview with Mendy. Okay, how are we going to do? Okay, there you go. An arranged marriage. This, I would assume, is primarily on Daboll to go select the guy that he wants that's going to play defense the way that he wants to win football games. So that's why I believe that this is more an indictment on the head coach than it is the defensive coordinator. Bowen has been god-awful. Everybody knows that. Who's the guy that hired him? And why is he letting him get away with it? If you hired a guy to do a certain thing, be a conservative scheme, and he's doing a conservative scheme, what's Dable supposed to do? And by the way, even if it is conservative and there's a time where you need to be aggressive, isn't that on Dable to say, hey, knucklehead, we just got burnt by this in week 2. Don't let it happen again. Figure it out. Is that not how it works anymore? That's how it used to work. Mitchell is calling from Fort Lee. What's up, Mitchell?
Hello, Sal. How are you? So I was listening to you all morning. Thank you for keeping entertained here with everyone else. I feel bad DC's not there with you, but you're doing a great job by yourself. But I heard you say that you think the Giants are going to win 5 games or 5-4 the rest of the year.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question, Sal. How do you figure on that? Because this is how I look at it. Here's my opinion. The Giants lose on Sunday to the 49ers. They lose to the Bears. They're going to lose to the Packers. They lose to the Lions. After that, and maybe the Patriots, after that, the last 3 games they have a chance of winning. Where do you see one of the other games they can go 5-4? Which one do you think they have the best chance to upset to get to 5-4?
I think they win this weekend. That's number one. I think they could beat the Bears. That would get me 2. And then I think the final 4 games are all very winnable games for the Giants. Now, again, things can change week to week. Who knows who's going to be back, who's going to be out. But right now, that's what I'm basing it off of. Not only that, but they also beat the Chargers. They also beat the Eagles. By the way, I forgot to mention that my perfect streak of correctly predicting the winner of every Giants game so far through 8 weeks is on the line. I have correctly nailed every single game, including the Chargers win, the Saints loss, the Eagles win. I've gotten the Giants straight up, who's going to win their game, correct for 8 straight weeks. And I think they're going to beat the 49ers. So that's why, Mitchell. I think the Niners, Bears, and then those final 4 games. Now, I have a bone to pick with you. Mitchell, as you may have known from listening to the show, he helps me out sometimes getting tickets and all that stuff. And I asked him to get me a couple of Knicks tickets or get access so I could buy a couple of Knicks tickets that I wanted to give as a birthday gift for one of my nephews who requested that. I told him November 5th against the T-Wolves. Yes, Sal, I got it. He sends me the tickets for November 9th. What happened, Mitch? You screwed me.
Sal, you know what happened. Guys screwed up. I apologize. I said we could get other tickets. I was waiting for you to get back to me yesterday. Still haven't texted me back yet, but we'll work it out one way or the other. But one last thing to let you know, Sal, with your great betting skills, I've heard about this last night. Do you know the Islanders have covered every game by over goals per game for the last 9 games since the season started? You know that?
I have not. No, I don't. I never. One thing I don't do, and thank you for the call, Mitchell, is bet hockey. I'm not knocking it. Especially not the Islanders. Maybe in a postseason series, I'll bet the Rangers in a series. I can't bet hockey, but that is pretty cool that they've covered every game so far, if that is in case a fact. But don't just gloss over oh, sorry, I'll make it up to you. The game's Wednesday. Now he's got me scrambling. I had to call in some major favors for this one. I'm hoping to hear back from some people I reached out to about this. You screwed me over. That's a bad mess up. I was willing to pay. I could have got them weeks ago. I said November 5th. And it wasn't necessarily Mitch who screwed up, but Mitch is my guy. He goes through his guy. They screwed up. I need 2 tickets. I got to give a birthday present for Wednesday's game. Come on. That can't happen. That's a bad mistake. That's even worse than Bowen 2 times in a row. Can't happen. Bad mistake. Prevent defense with a lead late again after blowing the lead in week 2. You do it again against the Broncos. Can't happen. I say a date. You get the tickets for that date. It can't be another date. Tickets against the Nets. Who the hell wants to go see Knicks Nets? I want to see the T-Wolves. Matt is calling from Westchester. What's up, Matt?
Yo, what's going on, Sal?
How are you, Matt?
Listen, I cannot believe that one of the biggest problems with the Giants that is not being talked about with this coaching staff is their complete inability to develop players on both sides of the ball, right? You have all these guys coming in with all this promise, Nubin, JMS, you name it, Neal, Banks.
Yeah, Deonte Banks' his first year was great.
And then all of a sudden they're terrible.
Yeah, good point. Nubin, same thing. I think it's an excellent point, Matt. I don't know, though. For me, I don't know about development, although that is a good word to use. It would be about, A, are they really picking the right guy? And then, B, why aren't they able to maximize his skill set in their system consistently?
Yeah, it's not only that, but you look, some of these guys, when they first come in, they look like, okay, wait a second. We got a player here. Like Banks' first year, looked like he could be something.
I loved
him.
him.
And as time has gone on, he's gotten worse and worse.
Yeah, now he's unplayable. I agree with you, Matt, and thank you for the call. Banks first got here. His first year, I'm saying, all right, they got a player. I like Deontay Banks. He went from that quickly to becoming unplayable. By the way, even Dexter Lawrence, who you don't have to, and I know they didn't draft him, but you don't have to question how good he can be or how good he was. Well, why the hell has he regressed? Newbin, you referenced. Forget Evan Neal. Kayvon hasn't reached full potential. Abdul Carter's getting there, but he hasn't reached full potential yet. Hopefully Sunday's a different story. All right, that does it for us. Thanks to Dove Kramer, as always, all week long. Thanks to Rami,